Kevin, it should be 2, 4, 6, 8. Why are all my readers late? 2, 4, 6, 8. They must have all went out on a hot date. Okay. So, we were planning our trips. What do we have to get? Okay, let me shut this off. We've got a special guest tonight going to be reading with Sharon and I. She had to go get dressed because she was nearly naked, but she should be coming onto the panel very soon. So we have a very, very special guest doing some readings tonight. Does anybody know who that special guest might be? Put it in the chat. All right, let me get the stuff for us.
Let me think.
Okay. One, two, three, four. Okay. Pupils. Execution. We were on. We did Karen Service last time. Okay, so that was. We didn't do William Austin, did we? The owner of the Christmas store? Did we do him or not? Sharon, did you end up just being the service lady?
Yeah, you didn't do.
We didn't do the owner of the Christmas store?
No. Mm-mm. As far as what time the tape said and what have you.
Okay, so we're on the owner of the Christmas store now. This should be a short one, I hope. Yeah, this is a very short one. Okay, good. We gotta start making. I'm gonna get the link right now. Okay, I'm gonna put it in the chat, and then I'll look for Scooter, and I'll send it to you if you can't get it on there. Okay.
Well, you just told him who the special guest was now.
Oh shoot! See that? I got tripped up.
You didn't send it to Slack. You sent it to Zoom.
I'm sending it to Slack now. I put that in there for our special guest.
Oh, all right. Okay.
Okay, let me see. Now you have it. Okay.
There it is.
And I'm going to get ready and send you the other one too.
You should see the size of this on my phone. Look at this.
Is it tiny? Oh my gosh. That's crazy. That's why Scooter used to get tripped up all the time. Because when she wasn't doing it on her laptop, she was always messing up because of that.
That's why it was so hard last night, but I turned it sideways and then I made it bigger.
That's crazy. You're going to need a GoFundMe for some type of a device.
Well, I made it bigger, but I just had to do this in order to read.
I know, but that's interfering with everything.
Yeah, well, it worked.
Well.
Now you know my secrets. Okay.
Right.
Okay. Oh, am I the clerk?
Yeah, you'll be everybody else. Yeah, the clerk. That's the clerk. That's the one that talks in that voice.
Got it.
Okay, I'm just going to give you the link for the next one, then this next one. Okay. Might as well get all the links here. Now look at this. She thinks she's a diva holding us up.
I know, right?
We're going to have to go on without you. Okay. Hi, Kevin. Hi, Captain Lee. Hi, Christina Ferrari. Hi, Rosalita. How did Rosalita do? Let everybody know, everybody in the chat, let Rosalita know what you thought about her. Okay, she did a great job.
We loved her.
Yeah, we loved her. We still love her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still do.
Mm-hmm. Deborah Vancouver did, Nicole Griffith, Rubbity Bob. Anybody else that's an expert in anything, let us know. You could have a segment like that too. Margot. Who else is here?
Sharon, can you change my name, put it back how it was?
Oh, did you like it?
Yes, I did.
Carolyn P. Oh, and I've got to move Scooter here. Let's see. Hold on. Where's this? Add pin. Okay. All right, Scooter, the script is in the chat of Slack.
Okay. What do you mean?
We're doing the first person now tonight is the manager or something of that Christmas store.
Wait a sec. Wait.
What?
What do you mean? I have to go into Slack?
No, not Slack. I don't mean Slack. Zoom.
It's in Zoom. It's in the Zoom.
It's in the Zoom chat. It's William Austin.
Wait, no, it's not here. It's not here.
Oh, maybe. Really?
I'm not seeing it.
Hold on.
Look at the chat. Look under chat.
Yeah.
It's because she came in after. It's because she came in after it was
There you go.
posted.
There you go. I just put it in.
Okay.
That's all. Just she came in
Really?
after.
So
was
it does that for privacy? The person coming in can't see anything that was said about them?
That's correct.
That's a good thing she didn't see all that stuff we were typing about.
Here, is that better as far as my sound goes? Is
I
my
didn't
sound
know.
better?
Yes. I didn't know that, Nikki, because I normally try to delete all that stuff before she comes in.
Yeah, I know, right?
I don't have to do that
I
anymore.
want her to know we're talking about her.
Uh-huh.
Be considered rude.
We're anything
She might
but
hear us, guys. She might hear
I
us.
think I missed you. That's why I was coming in to read.
We thought you were going to yell at us that we were late, like Kevin does.
No, I just missed you, and I thought I'm allowed to see if she's live.
Okay, so this is William Austin on June 9th, 2004. William Austin will be played by Scooter. The judge and the court clerk will be played by Sharon. And I will play the prosecutor, Harris, and also Gergos, the defense attorney. Okay?
Hi, everybody in chat. I don't see you, but I'm saying
So this is the direct examination by David Harris. The people call Bill Austin.
Bill Austin.
Your Honor, I'm going to step out for just a moment. Mr. Harris is going to do this witness. That was discussed.
Okay.
Is this my copy? It can be.
Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly state that the evidence you shall give in this matter shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
sorry. I do.
Be seated.
Thank you.
State and spell your name for the record.
William Austin.
Why don't you spell it, Mr. Austin?
Austin.
First name?
William.
Common spelling. Okay, go ahead.
Thank you. Mr. Austin, are you the owner of Austin's Patio Furniture Store in Modesto?
Yes, I am.
That's in Stanislaus County?
Yes, sir.
Just to go through this a little bit, is Austin's Patio Furniture pretty much what it says, a patio furniture store?
Patio furniture in the summer, Christmas decorations in the winter.
And the Christmas decorations that you're talking about, is it called Austin's Christmas Store?
Austin's Christmas shop.
Christmas Shop.
Uh-huh.
When you do this, do you do it out of the same building or do you set up in a different building?
Same building.
I want to take you back to December 24th of 2002, were you or Austin's operating that Christmas shop back then?
Yes.
Can you tell the jury a little bit about how that Christmas shop is set up?
Basically, we empty our store. We have 6,500 square feet of nothing but Christmas decorations.
And when you do that, do you have a particular cash register that you set up for the Christmas shop?
Yes, we do.
And how many? Is that the only register in the Christmas shop?
We actually run 3 registers, but that's our primary register.
The one for the Christmas shop?
Yes.
All right. And after you get this going, does it stay open until the end of the holidays, basically?
Yeah, we'll run through the middle of January.
Then at some point, let me just show you what's been marked as people's number 28. Were you shown a receipt by a detective from the Modesto Police Department? I'll give you a chance to look at that.
Yes, sir.
Can you recognize, looking at people's number 28, that particular receipt that was shown to you by the detective?
Yes.
Can you tell the jury what that receipt is?
It's a receipt from our Christmas shop from the 24th, late morning, 10:34 a.m. according to the time clock.
All right, I want to go through that a little bit.
Uh-huh.
You're the owner of the store.
Yes, sir.
And as part of being the owner of the store, you're responsible for the operations and how things work.
Yes, sir.
And the register that you're talking about, that primary register, did that receipt come from the primary register for the Christmas shop?
Yes, sir.
Do you make sure that the time is set on those registers?
Yeah, we program the register at the start of the season. It's part of the programming procedure. Date and time has to be accurate.
How is that done?
The young gentleman that sets them up goes to the phone line, picks up the time off the phone, and coordinates that with the register.
Be an objection. Hearsay. Motion to strike.
I think he's talking about his custom and practice. So overruled.
From your personal experience, do you confirm at some point in time that they're using it or checking it later that the time is accurate?
Yes.
And from looking at that receipt, was that an accurate time on that receipt?
Yes, sir.
As part of the practice in your particular store, when a customer comes in and buys something, is that transaction run up on those registers?
Uh-huh.
Is that a yes?
Yes, I'm sorry.
And is it given to the customer?
Yes, sir.
And it reflects the time of the purchase?
Yes, sir.
I have no other questions.
Mr. Garagos.
Mr. Austin, you don't set up the program, the machine, do you?
I didn't program this one, no.
It's a gentleman by the name of Jared Jensen. Is that the one who did it?
Yes, sir.
Jared Jensen, he's an employee of yours.
Yes, he is.
There's actually 4 cash registers in the store on December 24th of 2002, correct?
No, sir.
You had
3.
3. You had 4 cash registers. 1 that was computerized, 3 that were standard. Is that correct?
There's 3 cash registers at that time. 2 were standard and 1 is computerized.
The computerized cash register would have been intended by Mr. Jensen?
Yes,
And he's the one who would have set up that cash register back in 2002. Is that correct?
that's correct.
Okay, you did not set it up.
No, I did not.
Do you recognize my Mr. Jensen over there? Can you stand up for a second, Paul? Do you recognize him?
Yes, sir.
Okay. He talked to you and been in your store?
Yes.
Okay. Did he make or have somebody ring up 2 no sales receipts while you were there?
Yes.
Those 2 no sale receipts just show you, do these look familiar?
Yes.
Mark this as a defense.
Want this as a defense exhibit?
A defense exhibit.
All right, it will be defense H. No sales receipts from Austin's.
Defense H.
Right.
Now, these 2 receipts. You see the one says 135 and the other one says 226. Do you see that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and isn't it true that those 2, even though they show approximately being 50 minutes or 49 minutes apart, were actually run up just 10 minutes apart.
Yes, sir.
No.
I have no recollection of how far apart those were rung up.
Isn't that what Mr. Jensen was doing, is to check the accuracy of the machine and see if it self-programs?
I don't know how close together those were rung up.
Okay, now who changes the time on the Christmas register? Is that also Mr. Jared Jensen?
It doesn't get changed.
Okay, so he's the one who programs it initially, is that correct?
Yes.
Thank you. I have no further questions.
Redirect examination by Dave Harris.
May this witness be excused?
No, I have some questions.
Okay.
Mr. Austin, just so we're clear about this, the date you were asked about, the time on these particular exhibits.
Uh-huh.
I'll let you look at it. This was done in 2004, is that correct?
Yes.
And that was done in January?
Oh, according to this one, was on the 14th, and one was on the 20th.
Of January of 2004?
Yes.
So that would have been sometime after the Christmas season?
Yes. Or 2 years.
Okay. Now, it says on those receipts something about happy holidays.
Right?
Now, those particular registers, when their holiday shops are, it's done, you close up for the season, do you put those registers out of service or commission?
Out of service.
So they sit and they kind of wait until the next holiday season to be used again.
That's correct.
So this defense investigator came in, asked you to pull those out of storage, turn them on, and check them in 2004 to see if it was accurate back in 2002.
Yes, sir.
I have no other questions. And
Recross.
oh, go ahead.
Recross examination by Mark Garagos.
And apparently it wasn't accurate in 2004, was it?
I don't know why it wouldn't be.
Well, because it was 10 minutes apart and it shows different dates and different times, that would be a pretty good indication that it wasn't accurate, wouldn't it?
I couldn't tell you if these were done on the same day, sir.
Didn't you just testify that he did it 10 minutes apart on the same day in front of you? You didn't say 10 minutes apart, but you did say he did it in front of you.
According to this, it was done on 2 different days.
Do you remember?
I didn't look at that part.
Okay, but did you run 2 receipts for him on the same day?
I can't tell you if I did or not.
Well, when I asked you before, I asked you about it and you said that you did. Do you remember testifying to that 5 minutes ago?
I also didn't look at the dates on these 2 receipts.
Okay, how many times have you talked to the investigator?
A couple of occasions.
And you ran the receipts for him on one occasion, isn't that correct?
Excuse me?
You ran the receipts for him on one occasion, is that correct?
That's what I recall.
Right, same day.
As far as I can recall, yes.
Thank you, no further questions.
Second redirect examination by Dave Harris.
Just briefly, Mr. Austin, just so we're clear. At the start of the Christmas season is when this person calls up the phone company, puts in the correct time as part of the startup process.
Yes.
Nothing else.
Mr. Garagos, anything?
No.
Okay, Mr. Austin. Thank you very much. You can be excused.
Thank you.
Okay, now we're going to go to the next
Let me
person.
wash my glasses super quick.
Okay. Is that your excuse? Okay.
Put my second one in.
All right, let's see. Now the next person is going to be Amy Rachel Craigbaum.
I
And
need you
I
to
think
put it
I
in.
sent it to you. Didn't I already, Sharon?
I see it.
Yeah, and I gotta send it to Scooter. This is another neighbor of the Petersons. Sorry, we're waiting for the diva to wash her glasses.
I know, right?
I know. holding
Oh,
everybody.
find out anything about his trial or anything?
Not yet. They have until the 18th to make the decision, or the 16th.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Oh, okay, now wait. I'm on the wrong thing.
I just sent you a new link in the chat.
Oh, wait, no, it's not. Hold on.
Sharon.
Okay, sorry.
All right. So, you have the first line, Sharon.
Direct examination by Rick Distasso.
Annie King Long, correct? That
This is the one that's going to take a while. Raise your right hand. Do you solemnly state that the evidence you shall give in this matter shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Be seated. State and spell your name for the record.
Amy, A-M-I-E, Rachel, R-A-C-H-E-L, Kingbaum, Craigbaum, K-R-I-G-B-A-U-M.
Thank you. Want to get a little closer to the microphone?
It's a short seat.
that's good.
All right.
Just talk loud.
All right.
Go ahead, Mr. D'Estasio.
Just give me 1 second, Your Honor. We heard you state your full name and spell your last name. Where do you live?
Oh,
Let me stop you. I don't want you to give your address to everybody. You live on Covina Avenue in Modesto?
I do.
No, just mark them separate.
Next in order,
Yes, Your Honor.
31 and 32.
31 and 32. There will be photographs looking towards the Peterson residence.
Okay.
And do you live across the street from 523 Covina?
Yes.
Okay, and did you live there on December 24th of 2002?
Yes.
There's a diagram behind you of People's 12. And do you recognize that as a schematic of 523 Covina? Covina Avenue is down here. Here's the lawn. That's where the house would be.
Oh, the front of their house?
Karen's service would be over here.
Yes.
Can you just write, just so the jury's clear about what we're talking about, that you live across the street, which would be on the other side of Covina, right?
Yes.
Just write.
Fairly offset, like right here.
Yeah, can you just write your last name? Craigbaum home.
Rice on diagram.
I hope I got the right picture from the Medinas. But let me ask you, People's 31, would that be a picture kind of looking from your home towards the Peterson home?
Yes.
Okay.
That's my porch.
And these are like your bushes
Yeah.
on the front here.
That would be my front porch, actually.
Okay, I'm going to put that picture up here so everybody can see this. Hang on, this is...
Hold on one more second.
Oh, boy.
Please. I can't see wrong. I don't know what I
You turned
did.
into a diva in a short time.
1 second.
I was so much less a diva.
Do what Rosalita said. Windex.
Now she's dragging Rosalita into this.
Rosalita, squirt, squirt. Wait, nothing's coming out. Sorry. One moment, Your Honor. Why won't this work?
I don't know.
Oh, come on. There we go.
Okay, let's take it from, and these are your bushes, and these are your bushes? Okay.
Yeah,
On the front here?
I can't.
That would be my front porch, actually.
Okay, this is People's 31.
Okay.
There we go. And so this would be a view looking from your front porch towards the Peterson residence.
Yes. I can
And-
see.
Okay, can you see now? And just real quickly, when did you move into that house?
I believe it was January of 2001.
And you lived there, I mean, to this day?
Yes.
Okay. What on December 24th of 2002? Were you home that day?
Yes, in the morning. We left for a while, but we were home.
Okay, we'll get there. Let me kind of take you through the whole day.
Okay.
At that time that you were there, let me turn a little light on here for this thing. At that time, during this time, I'm sorry, on December 24th, who were you working for?
I was working for Siemens Building Technologies.
Okay, and did you drive a van?
Yes.
Did you have a work van?
Yeah, a white Siemens van.
And it was, you said a white van. Was it a full-size van or a minivan?
It was an Astro van.
Astro van. Do you remember what that year was?
It was brand new. I just had it. I probably just got it for a few months. I had a replacement van, so
So probably 2002?
probably yes.
And where did you park that van?
I parked it. You could see the edge of the garbage cans right there. If my van were parked, you wouldn't be able to see the garbage cans. There's a black walnut tree
Hold on a second.
on this side.
Try not to shoot the clerk in the eyes, but basically it would be right there.
Up a little bit further on my side of the street.
Okay, so it would be off the picture then.
No, you would probably see the tail end of it right equal with the garbage can.
Right here.
Yeah,
Okay. Is that where you would park it regularly?
yes,
Do you remember if that's where it was parked on December 24th of 2002?
yes.
Let me pull this off here for a second. Can you take one of these pens and just write on the picture, just write the word van where your van would be.
Okay.
Okay, and actually, can you write your last name under there, Craigbaum?
Okay.
Writes on picture.
Thanks.
Uh-huh.
Now, what time did you wake up on the 24th?
Between 10:30, 10:38. I remember saying 10:38, but my alarm clock could have been set 5 minutes fast. We do that every so often, so I can't remember exactly, but 10:30-ish.
Would it be a fair estimate to say sometime between 10:30 and 10:40?
Yes,
And who was home with you?
myself and Tara and Michael.
And Tara is your significant other?
Uh-huh.
And what's her last name?
Venable, Venable,
And Michael is
her son.
her son. Okay. So you got up, you all three were home, and was it just a normal, Christmas Eve day?
It seemed quiet.
Objection, speculation.
I didn't hear the answer. What was the question again?
Was it a normal Christmas Eve day?
Yeah, it's argumentative. Sustained.
Okay, well, just tell me what you did then. You guys got up?
We got up, took the dog in the front yard to go to the restroom, and made breakfast and got ready to go shopping.
Okay, and when you took the dog in the front yard, did you walk outside with the dog?
I just walked to the porch, and she goes right over the planter box right there. There's a little hole in the bushes.
What kind of a dog is it?
She's a red-nosed pit bull.
Okay, and so basically we would be standing on your porch looking at this picture, would basically be kind of where you were standing when the dog went outside to do its business.
Exactly.
And did you do that first thing when you got up?
Yes,
I mean within minutes?
probably within minutes because she had probably been holding herself all night. So I got up. It's routine. You just get up and take her out.
Okay. So you were outside. Did you see anything going on in the street?
I saw nothing going on. It seemed abnormally quiet in the neighborhood that day. So,
So you didn't see any people around?
no,
You didn't see Karen Servas?
I didn't see any neighbors.
And you know who Karen Servas is?
Yes, I do.
The neighbor across the street?
Uh-huh.
Were you guys home the rest? You said you left at some point. So you were home until when? When did you leave your house?
12:30 or 1 we left.
Where did you go?
We went shopping. We went numerous places.
Did all three of you leave?
No, Michael stayed.
How old is Michael now?
He's going to be 14 in July.
So he would have been around 12, I guess, 11 or 12.
Yeah, 11 or 12.
And so you and Tara left and went shopping, and at this time you were doing this, you were keeping a stopwatch of the exact amount of time you were gone?
No.
Okay, so can you give me some guesstimate of how long you were gone?
Well, the last receipt we had checked was Blockbuster, and that had a timestamp on it, and that was 15:42, and that was on McHenry Blockbuster.
Okay.
And then we went to Save Mart, and we only had to get canning jars at Save Mart. I like to do decoupage on those.
I was going to ask you about that.
Objection.
And then you went straight home.
Yes. then we went to-
Okay. So 1542 would be 342.
Yes.
And you say you went from there to Blockbuster to Save Mart.
Yep.
And these folks don't have any idea about McHenry or Modesto.
Right.
So maybe we can give them some idea.
All right.
McHenry is kind of a main street in Modesto.
Uh-huh.
And it has, you know, stores and whatnot on it. And so you went down McHenry. How far? Just give me a guess in your mind about how far it is from where, you know, McHenry, Blockbuster to the Save Mart, you went to downtown.
Maybe like 7 to 10 minutes maximum. Traffic, maybe 10 minutes.
Okay, all right. So about 7 to 10 minutes driving time.
Probably.
You got to Save Mart, and that's the one downtown.
H Street. Uh-huh.
And the H Street downtown Save Mart is kind of in the vicinity of your home.
Uh-huh.
All right, and so you were there. What did you buy there?
Canning jars.
Canning?
Uh-huh.
Okay, all right. And then Tara was with you?
Yes.
And that's all you bought?
Yeah, that was the only thing Safeway didn't have that we needed, so
And then you went where?
we went home.
And so you got home. How long do you think you were at the store?
Oh, I don't know, maybe 10 minutes, I don't know.
10? Oh, okay.
10, 15 minutes, I don't know.
Right, and again, you're just estimating as best you can.
Yes.
Okay, so then you went home, and what were you doing?
We were putting groceries away, and I was actually draining my fruit for fruit salad.
And you were planning on having family over for dinner that evening.
Yes.
Okay, we're just real briefly, who was coming over?
My mom and my dad, my Uncle Brian was coming over, just whoever kind of showed up.
Just family?
My family's not like pretty punctual, so they get an invite. If they come, that's great. Except my dad. My dad's punctual.
All right, and so then you're getting this thing ready. At some point, did you have a contact with Scott Peterson?
That was later in the evening because I had to go back to the store because I didn't have marshmallows.
Because you didn't make a shopping list? No,
That's
sorry.
right.
Okay. Let's go through this then. Up to this point in the day, had you seen Scott Peterson at all?
No.
And you recognize Mr. Peterson as he sits here in court, right?
Uh-huh.
All right. And you and Tara knew Lacey and the defendant just, as normal kind of neighbor things.
Yes.
They go by and wave, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Have you ever been inside their home?
No.
Have they ever been, to your knowledge, ever been inside your home?
No.
Up to this point in the day, had you seen Lacey Peterson?
No,
Had you seen Scott Peterson?
no.
When you got up in the morning, are you familiar with Lacey Peterson's car, what it looked like?
Uh-huh.
What kind of car was it?
A Land Rover?
Okay, did you see her car when you woke up parked in the driveway?
Yeah, it was there.
All right, when you got up, did you see Scott Peterson's car?
I didn't see Scott's truck. No.
And when you came back, when you had been out to the store and then came back, do you remember seeing Lacey's car?
It was there. Uh-huh. When I came back from the store, from by myself, when I went to Save Mart, his truck was there when I got back.
Okay, right, but we're still at the point where you and Tara are coming back from Save Mart right downtown.
Uh-huh.
When you came back from the first time you went, you saw Lacey's car?
Uh-huh.
Did you see the defendant's car?
No.
Okay, you get back, you said you're doing whatever you need to do, fruit salad or something, and then you realize what?
The Christmas lights came on.
Okay, did the Christmas lights come on before you left for the store again?
Yep.
Okay, and whose Christmas lights?
They were Scott and Lacey's Christmas lights.
Could you see from your house their house?
Yeah.
Okay, I mean from the window.
Oh, yeah.
All right, I mean your kitchen window.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, you said the Christmas lights came on.
Yes.
And then what happened? What happened? What's the next thing you did?
I went back to the store to get marshmallows.
You were by yourself?
Yes.
You went to the store. Do you have an idea? Again, give me a guess how long you were there.
I don't know, maybe 20 minutes, probably total to get there, I guess. Get there, get it, and come back.
Okay, go down, get the marshmallows, pay for them, come back.
Yeah.
20 minutes go by, and then you come back to your home.
Uh-huh.
And then what did you see?
His truck was there,
Okay.
backed in.
Are you familiar with his truck?
Yes.
And you said it was backed in?
Uh-huh.
Then what happened next? What did you do when you went in the house? What happened?
We just finished cooking.
And at some point, did you speak to Scott Peterson that night?
When he came over to my house and asked me if we had seen Lacey,
Okay, what did you tell him?
no, we had not seen Lacey, and we hadn't seen any movement from the house at all. Just her truck was there. The only movement I had seen was the Christmas lights come on. You know, that was like evening time, so
Okay. Were the Christmas lights still on at that point? Do you remember?
I'm pretty sure they were on, you know? I'm not sure exactly when he came to the door.
Uh-uh.
Yeah, I'm not positive about that, so
Okay, so he came to the door, he asked you if you saw Lacey. What happened next?
I had told him no, and he had told me, he was golfing all day and he tried to find her. And I said that we hadn't seen her. We hadn't seen any movement. We thought they were out of town because the house had not moved at all. And we just thought the neighborhood was weird because it was so silent. We just figured everybody was out of town but us.
Okay.
And then,
Hold on, let me stop you. So he comes to the door, says, "Have you seen Lacey?"
uh-huh,
You said, "No, we haven't seen her." And then you asked him, "Well, where have you been?" Or what kind of was going on with that?
you know, I don't really know how the conversation went verbatim. I just remember him telling me, you know, that he tried to call her all day and that he was golfing.
Uh-huh. So, I mean,
So-
oh, sorry. Uh-huh.
So, I mean, he was distraught. It kind of made me a little distraught. So I don't really know how to handle the situation, so I
Okay.
didn't know how.
Okay.
I just kind of took bits and pieces of it and didn't really know what to do. I shut the door and kind of asked Tara, help him look, or, you know,
Okay, and then what? And then what did you guys end up doing?
I ended up,
I'm sorry. Before we do that, so he told you, "I've been golfing. I was trying to call Lacey."
uh-huh,
You said, "No, we haven't seen her."
uh-huh.
And then what happened? Where did he go?
He took off over the planter box and went to the right, and I ended up shutting the door.
Okay, so he went over your planter box, went to the right,
Yeah,
which would have been, I guess, kind of towards where the trail would be,
right,
on the street.
right.
And then you didn't see where he went after that.
Well, I shut the door, and then my dad had pulled up. I think the second time I had opened the door, because I had to get my shoes off and stuff. And I was talking to Michael and Tara about the situation.
Uh-huh.
So I shut the door and ended up, I don't know if I got my shoes on or what, but when I opened the door the second time, I remember seeing him coming out of the house, going towards Karen's with the dog. So I don't know what the time length was. There were a few times, like I shut the door, went outside, talked to him on the front of the lawn. It was just so mumbled jumbled together because my adrenaline was going.
Okay.
I don't know the sequence exactly, so
Right. The first time you came to the door was the time he said he was golfing.
yes,
And you kind of kept going in and out, trying to figure out what you should do to help.
yeah,
Is that
yeah,
kind of what happened?
yeah, exactly. So, and then my dad showed up and I walked my dad in the house. And so,
Okay, and then did you end up kind of, helping out with the situation in the sense that you went down and you and Tara went and looked, kind of searched a little bit, you just did things with people?
right, well, my dad followed. I walked down that way to see if I could help him because when I went outside, I was like, Dad, you call the police, because he was walking to Karen's and I was like shouting questions across the way, Did you check the pool? Did you check the car? Just things that I would do,
Right.
So anyway, I don't know. I don't know if my dad pulled up at that time. I can't exactly see the scenario. I wish I would have written it down exactly. But my dad and I ended up walking towards the park to try to find him because he had walked that way like the second time. And so I walked down the trail, and when I realized there was nothing down there, and my dad really couldn't keep up because his feet are not that great, so I walked back up because I was kind of freaked out. So I got my dad, we got in the car, and we went down to the tennis courts.
Okay, and the trail, when you went down to the bottom of the trail, your dad is elderly?
Well, no, he just doesn't have very good circulation in his feet. He's got like back problems and stuff.
Okay, so going down that trail would have been difficult for him.
Yeah, he could do it. He's just not that fast at walking. He can't walk long distances. Otherwise, he would walk okay.
Okay, so you go down the trail, it's dark in the park, isn't that true?
Yes, very dark.
And then you came back out?
Yeah,
And then as the evening progressed, more and more people came and
yeah,
police came?
yeah. We all met at the park. Like, I saw Sharon Roach at the park when I was with my dad, and she needed a flashlight, so we ended up giving her a flashlight. I came back up, dropped my dad off, got Tara, and we came down and helped the whole search aspect of it.
Okay, and then when did people finally leave your house? Or, when things kind of calmed down, do you have any idea what time it was?
People leaving my house, meaning like,
Well, were people coming over and getting things from you or no?
well, like Lacey's family and friends and stuff.
Uh-huh.
Well, they were coming over and using my restroom pretty much throughout. We didn't really get to sit down and eat dinner. We kind of stood up and eat dinner. We were pretty shook up. So we said they could use our bathroom. I ended up taking some coffee over there and taking some bottled water. So they weren't necessarily staying at my house. They were in their front yard, kind of like staging out there.
Okay.
I just opened the house up if they needed anything, you know?
All right, hold on a second. Are you a little nervous sitting here today?
Yeah,
All right. It's kind of hard to testify in front of, millions of people in the whole bit.
yeah.
Let me just ask you a couple more questions about your van. Did the van stay parked in front of the house all day?
Yes.
When you took these trips to the store, did you take your van?
No, I took the Trailblazer.
I don't have anything further, Your Honor.
Cross-examination by Mark Garagos. Okay, Mr. Garagos.
Yes. Good afternoon, Amy. How are you?
Fine, how are you?
Good. Did she warn you that you can't talk fast?
Yeah, I'll try to slow it down. Getting my mouth dry from talking so much, too.
I remember from the preliminary, that's why I'm warning you in advance. So I'll talk slow if you talk slow.
Okay,
If I remember correctly, the Siemens van at the time was a brand new van.
brand new van.
And it's one of those, the Astro van, which is not the big one. It's the downsize, or the mid-size, I guess that's what they call it.
Correct.
And it's got Siemens written in pretty big letters on the side.
It's all the way around.
Yeah,
Front, sides, and back.
yeah,
Neon green.
exactly. It's very difficult to miss that van if that's the van you're seeing, isn't it?
Exactly.
Now, you woke up, I'm going to go back to the preliminary hearing,
Okay.
and you woke up about, you said then specifically, 10:38.
Yeah, 10:38, but I don't know if my clock was 5 minutes fast.
Okay,
I work for Siemens, so, and I don't have control of the clock. It's on her side of the bed, so
okay, and you remember looking at the clock because I asked you at the time.
yes, 10:38, because I looked at the time.
You remember that it was 10:38 because it's a digital clock. You woke up and it was because there was a dog barking, right?
Yes,
Okay, and it was, I guess there was a couple, you kind of became a connoisseur of the dog barks in the neighborhood, right?
yes,
Okay, you recognize which dog is barking by having heard it before, right?
yes,
And if I understand correctly, that morning you were wakened up by this dog barking and it was not a familiar bark, right?
well, there were two. One was very familiar, Sage, and then another one that wasn't so familiar, yes.
Okay, and do I understand correctly that your previous testimony that it was later when the police were towing Lacey's Land Rover, and I guess it would have been about, is this on? No, actually. Well, when they were towing the Land Rover from this is where it was parked, correct?
In the driveway,
Yeah,
yeah,
right in there.
uh-huh,
Okay, and when they towed it this couple of days later?
uh-huh,
When they towed the Land Rover and then you clicked and you recognized the bark.
uh-huh,
Is that, you have to say yes.
yes, yes.
And can you tell me what bark, who was barking?
Oh, it sounded familiar, like Mackenzie, so we didn't hear that dog bark like that very often, so,
Okay, now, when at 10:38 you heard both, I understand you didn't call time to figure out if it was 10:38 or not. However, you heard Sage, who is the dog that's in your house, to your right.
uh-huh, correct.
Then you also heard this other dog barking, and it went on for a little while, correct?
Maybe a few minutes,
Okay, and then at some point after that, you get up, you let your dog out, correct?
yes,
Okay, you didn't go much off the porch.
no,
Did I understand correctly?
correct,
You just kind of open the door because you haven't really woken up, and you let the dog out.
yeah, I go and stand on the porch exactly where that picture is. That is on my landing of my porch,
Okay, and the dog goes out, he does his business, he comes back.
yes,
Now, when you went shopping that day, you left the Michael home?
yes,
You left the house at approximately what time?
12:30 or 1,
Okay, and you said the neighborhood was unusually quiet.
yes,
Okay, and when you left 12:30 or 1, were the Christmas lights on at the Covina house?
No.
You would have noticed that, I assume.
Yes.
And now when you come back for the first time from going to the shop, you said you were at the store roughly 3:42, so you would have been back about 4-ish.
Well, we were at Blockbuster at 3:42 because that's the last receipt timestamp that I had. And then we went to Save Mart and then we came home.
What time?
4:15-ish is when we got home, I would imagine.
Okay. And when you got home, did you happen to notice, well, at that point, Scott's truck was not there?
4:15. No, it was not. It was the second time I came home.
All right, so 4:15-ish, whatever. That was when you first came home. You're not sure, but clearly his truck was not home the first time you came home.
Correct.
And when you came home, were the Christmas lights on or off?
I didn't notice them on until after we were home for a couple minutes, and then I noticed them on. So it was between that time that I had left, so,
Sometime after 12:30 or 1 o'clock.
well, when we had come home from the store, I don't necessarily know that they were on when we were unpacking the groceries. I just remember before I went back to the store, they were on. They came on.
Okay, so
So,
the best that we can do at this point is say sometime between 12:30 and 1 and 4:15-ish.
I'd say no, 4:15 and 4:30 from the time I got home to unpack the groceries and then when I went back to the store to get my marshmallows.
Okay, were the lights on that picture that we're looking at?
Oh, they were all across the front. They were the icicles that hang down,
When you say all across the front,
right?
straight across there?
Exactly.
Okay, now when you left to go get the marshmallows, the Scott's truck wasn't there. Did you notice if Karen services car, what does she have?
She has a brown Suburban.
Was the Suburban there, do you know?
I didn't notice.
You didn't look?
I didn't notice anybody home in the neighborhood. It seemed like that whole day, so I don't know.
Okay.
I wasn't.
You come back, you're fixing dinner, and at approximately what time do you get a knock on the door?
I don't know. I would probably, it was dark, so maybe 5:30, between 5:30 and I wouldn't say 6 o'clock, probably 5:30-ish, I would imagine.
And then Scott, he looks distraught,
Uh-huh.
and he's very, very upset from the way that you would normally know him. Isn't that correct?
Yes, well, from the way he normally looked, he looked distraught. I mean, he wasn't like crying, bawling or anything, but he looked distraught.
Okay, and that got you upset?
Well, yes,
Okay.
definitely.
And upset enough that you interrupted what you were doing so you could go help outside. Isn't that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
When I realized, the situation,
How long did it take you, would you say, between the time you first saw him distraught at your door to when you actually left the house?
maybe could have been like 10, 15 minutes, maybe.
And did you take, when he first came to the door, were you by yourself talking to him?
I was by myself at the front door, but then Tara was probably 10 feet away from me in the kitchen, if that, right at the sink. And then Michael was coming up from the first living room, or so probably about 10 feet away from me too. So he could have he had a visual of Scott coming up behind me.
Okay, and then what time did you see, or did you see his truck first?
That was the second time I'd come back from the store. So maybe 4:45, between, 4 o'clock, if I left to go to the store at like 4:30, actually, hold on. I never really had to figure out a time frame before. So I got home at like 4:15, unpacked all my stuff, did the fruit, went back to Save Mart. So probably saw his truck at like 4:45 maybe.
Okay, now how long were you out down in the park?
Well, we ended up being by ourselves, so I don't necessarily know how long. We tried to do the whole search thing, and then everybody spread out, and Tara and I ended up being alone. So we may have walked like maybe 10 minutes, probably 10 minutes at least, going in one direction, and realized we were freaked out and we came back. So nobody else was down there with us.
Now, how long before the media started camping out in the street?
Man, I think it was when we got back, when we got up that next day, there were cars just up and down the whole neighborhood. So
How long before all the satellite trucks and everything else started in?
I believe the next day.
Okay, pretty much blocked off the whole block.
Yeah,
And that continued for how long?
I don't know, 5 months?
Now, whenever Scott would come home, when the media was there, what would happen? When he would go in and out of the house?
They probably they would pretty much take his picture, stand on the curb, videotape him, ask him questions.
They kind of surround him, or swarm him, if you will.
They would stay off the grass normally, so it got worse as time progressed.
And kind of as you described it, or I think it was described at the preliminary hearing, was as a feeding frenzy at a certain point.
Pretty much. Somebody said that. I don't know if I said that. I think I just agreed. It was hectic in our neighborhood.
Thank you. I have no further questions.
Any other questions of this witness?
I don't, Your Honor. Okay, now we've got to get our next witness, which will be, I don't know why, let's see, it's going to be Venable. So I'll let it send you this, let's see. Send it over here. Okay, that's you. And over here, okay. Okay,
Yes, sir.
yeah, you can start.
Direct examination by Rick Distasso.
And Miss Venable, don't tell me the address, but do you live across the street from 523 Covina?
That's correct.
And you've lived there prior to December of 2002?
Yes.
And on December 24th, 2002, of course, you were living there, right?
Yes.
And you were living there with your significant other, Amy Craigbaum.
That's correct.
And that's the woman who just testified.
Yes.
And also your son, Michael.
Yes.
And Amy said he's 14 now. Do you remember, was he 12, 11 back then?
I believe he was, I believe, 11.
Okay.
He'll be 14 in July, so
Okay. And what happened on the 24th? Can you just kind of take us through the day? What time did you wake up?
woke up about 10:30 to dogs barking, and we didn't really recognize the bark. Sage was barking next door, our next door neighbor's dog, and so we decided to get up. We went into the kitchen, made some breakfast, opened up the blinds about 1 to 1:30.
Objection. It calls for a narrative. Yeah, I'll go through it, Judge. We kind of have to go through this piece by piece.
Okay.
Question and answer.
Okay.
So anyway, you get up, then you said, you did your thing. Did you go on the front porch with Amy when she took the dog out?
No.
Okay, you stayed in.
Yes.
And then you were home until about 1 o'clock, you said.
Yes.
And did I get that right? Did you say 1 or 1:30?
I believe 1:30. I don't know the exact time that we left the house.
Okay, and what happened when you left? Where did you go?
To miscellaneous stores just to do some Christmas shopping. And we also went to the grocery store to buy groceries for a dinner that we were going to have that night.
Okay, other than when you went out shopping, were you and Amy and Michael home for the rest of the part of the day?
Yeah. Yes.
what? So Amy kind of just took us through this, so that's why I'm running you along a little bit. So you go to the store, and that was the Save Mart store downtown.
Yeah, Safeway was the first store that we went to. And then we stopped at Blockbuster on our way back down McHenry. And then we stopped at Save Mart because we needed some canning jars that they didn't have at Safeway. And I was going to decoupage them and give them as gifts.
Exactly, and there's no better thing to do with canning jars, but you made those purchases?
Yes.
And you went home, and how far do you think the Save Mart, just a guesstimate, driving time, Save Mart downtown is from your home?
Maybe 5 minutes.
And so you get home, and do you remember what time it was that you got home?
I believe we got home about 4:10, 4:15 at the latest.
Okay, and just so for the to kind of orient you a little bit, this is People's 31, and this would be a picture looking basically from your porch over at the Peterson residence.
Yes.
Okay, let me just put that up for the jury. There we go. Okay. What happened next? You got home and you all three came in?
Mm-hmm.
What's the
Yeah.
next thing that happened?
It was actually Amy and I came home. My son was home the entire time.
Okay.
We were in the kitchen just preparing dinner. She was going to make a fruit salad, so she started to open up her fruit. I check on the turkey, and then she realized that she didn't have marshmallows and called her dad and asked if he could go to the store for her. He said no. So she, at that point, left to go back to Save Mart to get marshmallows.
And what happens next? She went, of course.
She went and came back. She got back probably 4:45, I guess. And we had talked about the Peterson house because we saw a package in their mailbox.
Okay, let me stop you.
Okay.
So let's just kind of go through the whole day, okay? Just what was going on over there at the Peterson house. When you got in the morning, do you remember seeing whether or not Lacey's car was in the driveway?
Her car was in the driveway.
And you're familiar with the car she drove?
Yes.
And were you familiar with the car that Scott Peterson drove?
Yes.
When you got up that morning, was Scott Peterson's car in the driveway?
No.
And up until this point, let's go to this. Up until the time that you guys came back from the store, when you and Amy, both came back from the store, it was about 4:15, was Lacey Peterson's car still in the driveway?
Yeah. Yes.
Did you see Scott Peterson's car there?
No.
You said you saw a package somewhere.
Yes.
Where was the package?
It was in their mailbox. It's outside of their courtyard on the fence.
And how did the house look during the day?
Unoccupied.
Okay. Did you see the blinds that are in the front that you can see in this picture? Can you see those blinds that you can see from this window, your porch?
Yes.
Do you remember if they were open or closed?
They were closed.
And they were closed all day?
Yes.
And what happened next then? Up into this, well, let me ask you this. Up to this point, you had seen Lacey Peterson at all this entire day?
No.
Had you seen Scott Peterson?
No.
At some point, did you see Scott Peterson?
Not that day. Oh, later that afternoon.
I'm sorry, yeah. Up to this point, you had not seen him.
No.
At some point during the day, do you see him?
Yes.
Okay, you and Amy returned from the store around 4:45.
Uh-huh.
And what's the next thing you remember? What happened?
Well, we kind of had a conversation about it because we saw their Christmas lights come on. So we thought that Lacey was home by herself and...
Hold on, let me stop you there.
Okay.
What time did you see the Christmas lights come on?
That was about 4:30.
And okay, go ahead.
So we had the conversation about that while we were cooking dinner, getting prepared. And we were talking about it was maybe sad that Scott wasn't there and Lacey was going to be home alone for Christmas. We just assumed her being there because the lights came on. And then it was about 6 o'clock when we got the knock on the door and Scott came up to the door.
Okay, and you recognize Mr. Peterson as he sits here in court today?
Yes.
And you said he came up, he knocked on the door. What happened?
Amy answered the door, and he asked if she had seen Lacey, or we had seen Lacey all day, and we hadn't seen her. And Amy asked him questions. He said he had been golfing all day and trying to call her all day and wasn't able to get a hold of her. And that was pretty much it.
Okay, and did you ask, did you tell him, yeah, no, we've been home all day, we're in and out, I guess, and we haven't seen him?
Yes.
And at that point, where did he go? Do you remember where he went?
I'm not sure because I was actually standing in the kitchen and she was at the front door. And so I didn't exactly see where he went. She shut the door and said he looked upset. And I guess he went across the street, back across the street to a neighbor's house to check.
Objection. Motion to strike. List the last portion. Just the last portion.
The last portion may be stricken.
So after Amy shuts the door, then she was saying something like, what should we do? That kind of thing.
Yeah, she said.
Objection.
She said he looked upset.
Misstates the evidence. Go ahead. She corrected it. It's okay. I'll withdraw. Go ahead.
She said.
Capturing the witness.
She said that he looked upset and she wanted to know if she should go help or, she was asking me, what should I do? He looked upset. And that was it.
Okay, at that point then, just to kind of finish this up, at that point then, you and Amy both went and kind of assisted in the search process as best you could.
Yeah, I actually stayed there because we had people coming over. And Amy went outside too. She grabbed a coat and went outside to go talk to him.
At some point, did you end up going down to the park?
Yes.
You personally,
Yes, us both. I came back with her.
All right, so at some point, you and Amy went down to the park.
Yeah.
At what time do you think the kind of cleared out that night? Do you remember?
It was early in the morning.
Okay, so eventually the street kind of cleared out, though.
I think it was probably maybe 2:00 in the morning.
And at some point then, people all kind of came back, right?
I thought there was people there the whole time.
Okay, go ahead. So the next morning, did you go to bed?
Yeah.
And what time do you remember waking up on Christmas Day, the 25th?
Probably about 9 or 10. I don't really recall.
Yeah, that's all right. And then sometime around there.
Yeah.
And do you remember, was there a large amount of people on the street at that point?
There wasn't a large amount. There were a few. There were a few reporters outside.
And after that point, did the media start coming to the street, spending, more time there, I guess?
Yes, nonstop.
All right. And how long do you think that media presence kind of lasted on your street?
Probably a few months.
Thank you, Your Honor. I don't have anything further.
Cross-examination by Mark Garagos. Mr. Garagos.
That package that you saw at the house, I'm going to squat down here. I'm going to just try to point. The package that you're referring to was somewhere in this area over here.
No, to the left of the tree where the mailbox is.
Right here?
Yes, sticking out of the mailbox.
Okay, and then when did you notice that package? Was it, I'll take you through. You left the house 12:30, 1 o'clock.
Yes.
Okay, was the package there then?
You know what? I don't recall. We talked about it after we got home from the stores.
Okay, the first time you recall noticing it was when you came home from the stores. It was on that trip, 415 trip.
Yes.
Okay, and these Christmas lights, were they, Amy describes them as kind of like an icicle style. I guess they were white lights?
Yes, they were icicles.
And when the Christmas lights went on, Scott's truck was not there?
That's correct.
Okay, and how long after do you remember seeing, what was the first time you saw Scott's truck?
I saw Scott's truck about 5:30. I would have to refer back to the paperwork of what my initial statement was.
Okay, as you sit here today, you don't have a clear memory?
No, not right off the top of my head. It was about 5:30, I believe. But I would have to look back to my first.
Okay, and the truck was parked facing in?
It was backed in.
Backed in, so the rear portion of the truck was against or closer to the wood fence.
Yes.
Okay, so different than is if you turn around and you take a look at people's 12, so it would have been in the opposite of this.
Yes.
Flipped around.
Flipped around.
Okay, and was, if this is the Land Rover, is that where it was parked that day?
Yes.
Okay, and you saw it there parked the whole day like that?
Yes.
Okay, and your memory also is the same as Amy's. You were wakened up sometime after 10:30. She keeps saying 10:38, but don't hold it to that time on the clock. By Sage's barking. That's the dog that's to the right of your house.
Yes.
Okay, and another dog who at the time you didn't know whose dog it was.
That's correct.
Okay, and then the people to your left are the Medinas, correct?
Yes. Yes.
And that's Mr. and Mrs. Medina. They live next door.
Yes.
And did you see them that morning?
No.
Did you hear them leave that morning?
No, I didn't even know. I didn't even know they were gone on vacation.
Okay, were you guys at the house, you and Amy and Mike, on the 24th, 25th, 26th?
We were there the 24th the whole day. We left for a little bit on the 25th to go to family for Christmas. But we were maybe gone for 2 hours or so.
And then
And the 26th, we were home.
you were home all day?
Yes.
Okay, and what was the presence on the street like on the 26th? Do you have anything? Did you have nothing but press and people, and it was pretty tough to get in and out of your driveway?
Yeah, there was a lot of press and cars and people.
Can I have just one moment? I have no further questions. Thank you.
Redirect examination by Rick Despasso. Any redirect?
Just a couple, Your Honor. Where is Tara? Where is your bedroom?
It's the front right of the house.
Okay, so does it face the street?
Yeah, yes.
And these homes, do they have that dual pane kind of glass or single pane?
Ours has really thin single paned glass.
And you heard the dog, or Sage, the Medina's dog, bark, and that's when you woke up.
No,
No,
I don't.
that's me. That's Garagos.
Oh,
No, I don't think. Is that what
it's not.
misstates the evidence?
They have more than one dog barking. You can recognize one as Sage, but didn't recognize the other dog.
And Sage is not the Medina's dog.
No, he's on the other side.
Sage is on the other side of the house.
Sage is on the other side of the house. Okay, I got it mixed up. I don't have anything further. Nothing further. Okay. I was thinking that myself, because I'm like, the Medinas are on vacation. Why is their dog home? Okay.
Who's watching the dog?
Yeah, I was freaking. Okay, Susan Aquino is the next witness, and that's Lacey's maternal aunt. Okay, let me get rid of this picture.
Do I have that yet? No, you haven't.
No, I'm
Oh,
doing it now.
yeah.
Doing it now.
Who's the next one? Ace Ventura.
No, Susan Aquino.
Detective.
Okay.
Okay, I got it.
Oh, Susan Aquino.
Aquino. Okay. I'll read that. All right, so let's see. We've got Susan Aquino.
Are you guys all set?
Yep.
Direct examination by Rick Despasso.
Please be seated. Spell and state your name for the record.
Susan Aquino, SUSANAQUINO.
Thank you.
Ms. Aquino, how are you related to or associated with the Lacey Peterson family?
Lacey is married to Scott, which Lacey is my niece.
And Lacey was your niece?
Mm-hmm.
And so that means that Sharon is your sister?
Sharon is my sister.
On the 24th of December 2002, did you get a call to go over to their house?
Yes, I did.
And you did go over there?
Yes, we did.
Where did you spend most of the evening?
Outside in front of their home.
Okay, and what were you doing there?
I was staying with Sharon trying to calm her down.
And what time? Just very briefly, what time did you get there?
Oh, about 7 o'clock,
What time did you end up leaving?
midnight, and then we went to Sharon's.
Then you went over to Sharon's?
Yes.
Did you stay the night over there?
No, we did go home.
Do you live in Modesto also?
No, we live in Riverbank.
Riverbank?
The jury can't hear.
Okay, how's that?
Scoot up a little closer.
Okay, there you go.
Did you answer? The last answer. She lives in Riverbank.
Riverbank is a town. It's really right next to Modesto, is that right?
Yes.
Just north?
Yes.
In fact, just so I guess people are clear, it's also like a suburb of Modesto now.
Yes, it is.
After, you went home, did you go back to 523 Covina the next day?
Yes.
Was there a time when you were in the house and a couple of police officers came to the door?
Yes.
And when they came to the door, who was present at the door?
Scott.
And where were you?
I was sitting in, Lacey had 2 chairs in the other little room with the double doors
Mm-hmm.
to go outside. My husband and I were both sitting in each one of those chairs.
Could you hear what was going on?
Yes, I heard the officers telling Scott that there was...
Objection, hearsay.
Overruled.
that...
Hold on. I'm sorry, did you overrule that?
Yeah.
Let me just go through it piece by piece.
Okay.
Or question by question. That's how the judge likes me to say.
Yeah. Question by question.
You're sitting in the chairs in the little room,
Mm-hmm.
and you said, Scott, and we haven't done this for the record, but you recognize Mr. Peterson here today?
Yes, I do.
And is that who you're referring to when you say Scott?
Yes, it is.
And some officers came to the door,
Mm-hmm.
and what did they say?
They let Scott know that there were 2 witnesses down at the park saying that they saw walking over at the walking bridge. You walk over the bridge, the walking bridge or whatever.
I'm sorry. One of the bridges down in the park?
Yes.
And what did the defendant say, if anything?
Well, I kind of got excited. Somebody had seen her. And I said, well, what do you think? He says, that wasn't Lacey. He says, she doesn't go that way.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Cross-examination by Mark Garagos. Mr. Garagos.
Ms. Aquino, what day was this? Do you remember?
Yeah, it was on the 24th
Where?
at Scott's home, Lacey and Scott's home.
Okay, what time?
Oh, I would say it was right after between 12 and 1.
12 and 1, 12 noon?
Yes.
12 noon on the 24th,
No, the 24th,
the day before Christmas.
on Christmas.
On Christmas, I'm sorry, so it was Christmas Day.
No, Christmas Day is the 25th.
Right, so how would this happen on the 24th?
Christmas the 24th, Christmas Eve.
Okay, so on Christmas Eve you had this conversation.
Yes, that's what I said.
Christmas Eve,
Christmas Eve.
between 12 and 1.
Christmas Day we were there, okay?
Right,
She came up missing on the 24th.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So do you have a problem? What's wrong with that? On the 25th, they said.
Okay, that's what he wants to know. Just wait. Hold on. Everybody calm down. Miss Aquino, this conversation took place on Christmas Eve,
Yes, it did. Christmas Day.
so you were at Scott Peterson's house on Christmas Day.
Yes.
This happened, so it was on Christmas Day, the 25th of December.
Right. Thank you. Christmas is on the 25th, by the way.
Actually, it's hard to tell what those days were.
Now the 25th,
Yes.
between 12 and 1 o'clock.
Yes.
You're in the house on Covina,
Yes.
and the two officers, they come in, correct?
Came to the door.
Came to the door, and they said, we're going to update you. We have two witnesses that saw Lacey going over the footbridge.
They did not say they were going to update anything. They just said there were two witnesses down at the park.
Okay, they said there were two witnesses.
Yes.
And Scott told the officers that they found, did they leave before Scott made that statement?
Just, can you ask the question again? Because you started to say something.
Did the officers leave before Scott made the statement?
Yes, they did, to me.
Okay, who else was present when Scott made the statement?
Just myself, my husband, and Scott.
And your husband's name?
Bill Aquino.
And was Sharon there?
No.
And this was Brent there?
No.
And this was between 12, noon, and 1 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
And where had Scott been before 12 noon? Do you know?
I have no idea.
What time did you get to the house?
Around 11 o'clock.
And was Scott there when you got there?
I didn't see him right at first. No.
What time did you see him?
Well, I know I saw him between 12 and 1.
Okay.
There was a lot of people in there.
There were a lot of people there.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, who else was there?
I don't know. I don't know these people. I don't even hardly know Scott. Actually, I can say I don't know Scott.
Okay, thank you. I don't have any further questions.
Any further questions?
No further questions. Okay, so next we have Russell Graybill, who's the Peterson's postman. I'm not a machine. I'm doing it as fast as I can.
I'm just waiting.
My scooter is looking around like, where is it? Okay.
Ooh, this one's a long one.
Is it?
Mhm.
You say that, then I feel sleepy. Don't do that.
Direct examination by David Harris.
Mr. Graybill, we can see now how you're dressed. But for the record, could you tell us who you're employed by?
I'm employed by the United States Post Office.
And how long have you been with the Postal Service?
Almost 10 years.
I want to direct your attention back to the year 2002. Since you've been with them for 10 years, were you working in your capacity for the post office back then?
Yes.
What was your assignment? To be more specific, December of 2002, what was your assignment with the Postal Service?
I was a mail carrier assigned to a route out of the 54 zip code, 5401, which did, various streets, 500 homes, and had the streets Rowland and Covina, and all of the areas surrounding Yosemite and La Loma area, and Modesto.
All right, I was going to ask about that. This is the city of Modesto.
Yes.
You mentioned the street of Covina, if you would. If you could look slightly behind you, do you see a chart up on the board?
Right. That's my mail route.
If we could have this marked, people's next in order.
33,
People's number 33. I'll take it up to the exhibit.
33. What does it purport to be, Mr. Harris?
This is a diagram of the area.
Of the Covina area?
Yes. Mr. Graybill, let me take this pointer and kind of acclimate you to this area. See on the diagram in the middle, top to bottom, where it's labeled Covina?
I do.
And then towards the bottom of the diagram, I don't know if the court can see this well, but from the left to the right where it says Encino.
Yes, sir.
And up here at the top where it represents to be Thousands Oaks Park, also known as Dry Creek or La Loma, do you recognize this general area?
Yes, I do.
And specifically looking at Covina, do you see the boxes starting to the right side of Covina where it says Pierre Park, 508, 516, 525, 526?
Yes, sir.
And do those represent the houses that would be on the east side of the Covina street?
The street addresses, yes, sir.
And then starting from the bottom, working on the west side of the street, 511, 517, 523, 523 Covina.
Yes, sir.
Do you recognize this chart to depict that general area?
I know all those houses very well, sir.
Okay.
I know where every mailbox is on that street.
All right, let me go through this so that we're all talking about the same date, talk about your daily activity. On 24th of December 2002, did you have the mail route that day?
Yes, I did.
And if it's this route that you're talking about,
Yes.
can you tell the jury what do you do to get ready for your route to kind of keep track of your time?
In the morning, you come in and the mail some of it is cased by machine. It's already put in a pre-sort barcode area order so that you don't usually see that mail. It just gets handed to you as you get ready to leave for the street. There's a lot of mail, like your TV guides, your publisher clearinghouses, and things not sorted by machines that you have to physically put in a case. And that takes about 2 to 3 hours, from 7:30 to 10 generally. You put all that down, you marry it together with this other mail that's already pre-sorted for you. You load it in your truck with all your packages and your parcels and various other stuff that you have to carry, your bag, your dog spray, those sort of things. And you drive out to the beginning of the route and you will start following the mail. And you start following the mail.
Now, there's the Postal Service, and I don't want to make this sound sinister, but do they keep track of your time?
They have come out with a barcode scanning device for tracking packages. And when they came out with that device, they arbitrarily decided to put these little barcode scanners on various mailboxes throughout the city. Like I said, I had 6 of them on this route. And about every hour, there would be one of these little scan devices. And I would have to scan that device when I got to that box. But they weren't using it to track me. They were just using it for the information as to where I might be at any given time.
So, on this particular day, on the 24th, let's move you kind of to the Covina area. Where is the Covina Avenue area? Where does your route actually start?
I would drive out of the main post. El Viejo post office would be down here somewhere.
You're indicating off
The map.
the diagram.
Off the map. And as I would make my way over, I would drive down Encina Avenue, and my very first, what's called a park and loop relay. You park your vehicle at one place, and you loop around the houses, and then you come back up, and you come back to the vehicle, You get in the vehicle, you drive to the next, and you park and you loop. And you do that all day long if you're on a park and loop route. My first stop would be 1402 Encina. I would walk down 1424, go across the street, deliver all these houses here, come back across Encina, go down Rowland to the 400 block, which is off the map, come back up, come back to my vehicle. That's the first relay. Then I would get in my vehicle and I would drive to 1520 Encina, and I would shut the vehicle off, get out, drop the mail at that house, drive around here, shut the vehicle off, drop the mail, drive around, shut the vehicle off. Same thing at 1515. Then I would park the vehicle.
Let me stop you for a second because you're gesturing off the map. There's a little street that's slightly above Pierre Park.
Right?
What's the name of that street?
That's actually Encina. These are Encina addresses. Whatever the house door faces is the address of the house. In other words, if this house door faced this way, it would be a Covina address. Because it faced this way, it would be an Encina address. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So if you drop off at 1515 Encina,
Right, and I would park the vehicle right here on the corner of Encina and Covina. This is a split street here, even though it's not marked. And I would walk up the street here and then come down the street here and get back into my vehicle. But at this house back here, before I ever did that, there was a scan point.
okay.
And at that house, I have to hit that scan point before I can proceed. And that allows me to know exactly when I was there at what time.
Okay, I'd like to have marked next in order.
Number 34.
A document that appears to be a computer printout. All right, Mr. Graybill, I'm going to hand you what was marked as People's 34.
Okay?
And I'm going to ask you to look at this and see if you recognize it.
Yes, when I got back to the post office, probably on the 27th or the 28th, when all of the investigation began, and we found out that there was a missing person, I pulled this out of the computer, or had it pulled out of the computer, because I wanted to be aware of where I was at a certain time on that day.
Okay, one second. Okay, let's go back through this. You became aware of the fact that Lacey Peterson was missing at some point in time.
At some point, I was being questioned.
And did you know on your route, do you get to know the people that are on your route?
Yes, you get to know the people on your mail route.
And who the people in your neighborhood are. And did you know most of the residents or have some kind of acquaintance with the people on Covina?
I knew most of the people on Covina.
So when you first became aware that Mrs. Peterson had gone missing, did you want to provide the police with this information about what time it was that you were there?
Yes.
So you went back to the post office and they have a computer program to allow you to retrieve that scan information that we have been talking about.
Right up there, you skipped. So did you look at the,
Where?
so did you look at that scan information that you have there?
So when you had seen Mrs. So did you? Yeah, but
I think it's
wait,
in.
no. I'm still at. Wait, I didn't get there yet, right?
No, you skipped it.
Oh, so did you look at that scan information that you have there? I think it's People's number 34.
Yes.
And after you looked at that, were you able to get a kind of accurate kind of time frame that it was that you were on Covina Avenue that morning?
Yes. And according to this, the post office, I was supposed to be at that box at 10:45, and I actually scanned the box at 10:19. So everybody got their mail early that day. So I was at 1424 at 10:19. And the time that it took me to drive around and to do that park and loop was plus or minus 15 minutes. Had I stopped and talked to everybody that day, it would not have taken me much more than 15 minutes. I don't remember talking to anyone that day.
So after you pulled this information, did you write down the estimated times that you believe that you were on the Covina Avenue Street by the Peterson house and turn that over to the detectives?
Yes, I did.
And do you recall what time it was that you can reconstruct from looking at the post office records that you were on that Covina Street that day?
Yes.
And what time frame was that?
I was there between 10:35 and 10:50.
Now, this route that you were there between these two time periods, you had indicated when you were gesturing before that you kind of started at 5:08, you worked your way to 5:16, 5:25, 5:36. I want to go through that a little bit. Do you know who lives at 5:08?
An elderly woman, I want to say Hafner, but I can't remember her name right now.
Do you know who lives at 5:16?
Susan Medina and her husband, the Medinas.
You're kind of indicating before that you get to know people on your route. Did you also get to know if the people have dogs?
Absolutely. You know where all the dogs are.
I think it might sound like a stupid question, but again, for the record, for the jury, can you tell us why postmen get to know where all the dogs are?
Well, I've only been bit twice in 10 years, but all my mailman friends have been bit. So we kind of get to know where the dogs are.
Are you aware of where all the dogs are on the Covina Avenue or street?
Yes, I am.
So when you're walking this route, 5:08, 5:16, 5:20, going up the street, are you aware there's dogs there?
It sounds like a chorus. They start barking at one end, and the next one catches, and before you know it, the whole neighborhood is pretty much a bunch of dogs barking, especially on Covina. For some reason, that's really obvious.
Do you get to know the dogs as well as part of your work, as part of working your route?
Some dogs, you know their names. Some dogs you deal with their customers on a day in and day out. Some dogs will attack a certain way. They'll guard certain areas. Some dogs will just back up,
Do you, I guess, going fairly close to the Petersons' house across the street at 5:16, do you know if the Medinas had a dog?
The Medinas had what I call a little yipper, a little black dog that would go behind the gate and would be really loud behind the gate. But when she was outside with me, she would back up and get behind the gate. And I would actually close the gate in order to keep her back there. That's the kind of dog she was.
All right, and let's say going up a little bit farther, 5:20, 5:25, do you know if there were dogs there?
526 had a dog named Sage, which was a Siberian Husky, a big one, a wolfhound type dog. And I knew that dog from another mail route that I had when they lived at 505 Myrtle. And so Sage and I were old friends.
As you come down the other side of the street, was there a dog at 5:29?
529 was pretty much a vacant house. They rarely received any mail at all. And no, I didn't see a dog there. Hardly ever. I encountered a dog at 523 Covina, a gray-faced golden retriever, I believe, and that...
Let me ask you about that. About that. Let's talk about that.
Okay,
At 5:23, you're talking about the Petersons' house,
right.
where the dog's been named or been described to the jury as being named Mackenzie. Did you happen to know the dog's name or just the...
I learned the dog's name since, but yeah, I knew the dog. I knew that dog.
Had you had any interactions with Mackenzie prior to the 24th?
As I remember it, there were times when the dog was out with her owner, and he would take control of the dog and put the dog in the backyard whenever the mailman came by.
Let me stop you there for a second.
Okay.
Because you were gesturing and kind of looking in a particular direction. The person you know is the owner of Mackenzie, the dog that you were referring to. Do you see that person here in court?
Yes, I do.
And is that the defendant, Scott Peterson?
Yes.
Were you aware of Mr. Peterson from working on this mail route?
I knew who he was. I knew who Lacey was. I knew who everybody was.
Okay, so just go back to that, through that. There would be times when the defendant or someone would be out with the dogs as you're walking down the street towards 523. Can you describe what would happen as you walk down there and if the dog was out?
The dog would guard the territory. The dog knew its boundaries. So,
Let me stop you. What do you mean by that?
well, like one day there was no one there. The dog knew its boundaries. So,
What do you mean by that?
well, like one day there was no one there, okay? The dog was out, all right? And the dog would not let me cross the property because you walk, there's no sidewalks, you skirt the grass on all the houses. So as I would walk up to the house, the dog would be out and it would be barking at me. But if I stayed in the middle of the street and kept walking right down the middle of the street, the dog would not come off the edge of the property. It would stay on its grass and let me proceed. And I could walk up to the next house at 517 and deliver the mail. And the dog didn't have a problem with that. But golden retrievers are like that. They'll stay in their territory.
Specifically on December 24th, 2002, did you have any problem with the dog or the dog come out and keep you off the property?
No, I had no problems on December the 24th. It was a normal day.
And as far as you can recall, were you able to deliver the mail at 523 Covina?
Yes, I was.
So you continue down the route and at some point in time you get back into your truck.
Yes.
Since you're talking to us about it, being aware of dogs and stuff, as a postman, do you try to pay attention to what's going on the street for your safety?
You're constantly on guard for what might come out at you at any given moment. Yes.
Was there anything out of the ordinary or anything unusual or anything that caused you to pay attention?
There was nothing out of the ordinary.
No other questions.
Cross-examination by Mark Garagos.
Russell, the note that that they marked as people's, I think 34, do you have it in front of you?
Yes, sir.
Is that how you tore? It looks like it's torn.
Right.
About halfway from an 8, a half by 11. Is that how you took it to the house?
This is my route 1.
Okay, and this was route 2?
Wait.
Oh, sorry.
And this
Okay.
this was route 2.
Okay.
And yeah, I would have just ripped it in half and sent it over there.
Okay, the handwriting on the back?
That's my handwriting.
Okay, what did you put on there?
Detective Groban, Russell Graybill, and my cell phone number.
Okay, and the front part of it, is this on, it's not on, how long is that going to take? Do you know where you put that item did you leave it in the mailbox at Covina?
It seems to me that I did.
Okay,
I'm not exactly sure how it worked its way over there.
so you got a call that somebody wanted to know when you were in this neighborhood. And obviously, you knew by the 27th that you were there sometime in the morning, but of course that's your usual route.
Yes, sir.
You go to work, you tear the sheet off, the top half, so you know at least this portion of your route, and then you leave it in the mailbox at Scott and Lacey's house for him to deliver it to Detective Grogan. Is that a fair statement of what you think happened?
You have to answer out loud.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Thank you, Your Honor.
She's writing.
Thank you. No, that's you.
Thank you. I'm shaking my head. Thank you.
Okay, now the handwriting that's on there, is that yours also?
Yes, sir.
And then you said I was there between 10:35 and 10:50.
Yes, sir.
Okay. The scan time that you're talking about, can you use your pointer and point to the house where you were?
I was at 1424 Encina. Is the address on that scan point right there, all the way over? That's 1019.
Right, 10:19. You were where?
Right here.
Okay, and then what's the next place you go to?
1520.
Okay, and then from there to where?
I drive around to 1519.
Okay,
Then I drive to 1515.
all right.
Then I pull over here and I park.
Okay, when you say you park right here, that is, it's labeled as Pierre Park. It's kind of grassy, median area.
Correct.
When you park there, where do you go?
I walk through the grass up to 508. There's a front mailbox on the porch here.
Uh-huh.
And then I walk around the gate and go to 516. There's a mailbox there. There's mailboxes, etc., all the way up here.
The Medinas is right here.
Correct.
When you went to the Medinas, what kind of mailbox did they have?
They have a mailbox that's a security mailbox where you drop the mail down in the box. And then you have to catch this little flap that has the outgoing mail in it. You have to pull that out first in order to put the mail in the box.
So when you would go there on the Medina's mailbox, normally what would happen is you'd have to pull the outgoing mail out first that you could see. Is that correct?
Correct, sir.
So there's kind of a flap that's like, as I'm demonstrating, where the mail rests on the top of the mailbox, correct?
Correct.
Okay, and when you pull out the mail, the flap goes up, correct?
Yes, sir.
And then you reach your hand down in and you grab the mail that's in there.
No, you deliver the mail.
You put in the mail.
You deliver the mail at that point. It's very complicated.
You can see that I was having trouble with it. The Medinas, when I was talking to you in the hallway before you came in, I was asking you about your specific memories on the 24th. You didn't have any specific memories as you sit here today as to what happened on the 24th, do you?
No, I don't. Nothing out of the ordinary happened on the 24th.
You don't remember if you delivered a package to the Petersons that day?
No, sir.
Okay, and then I asked you also, if I understand correctly, you now have some kind of a barcode system where if you deliver a package, you would know by it by virtue of the barcode system.
If the customer that mailed it to them paid for the barcode to be put on there, then yes, that package, any package that is received will be scanned.
Okay, but you don't know, as you sit here today, whether you delivered a package on the 24th.
Not to the 523.
Okay, and you've checked?
Covina, yes, sir.
Okay, now that day, in terms of your memory of that day, the best thing that we got right now is that this item that's on the screen.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and that day that you put this item into the Petersons' mailbox, would that have been roughly the same day, the 27th of December or the 28th?
In that time frame, sir, yes.
Sometime close.
It would have been that week. It would have been out by the end of the week.
Did you? I guess there's nothing on here that would identify what day it was that you ran that.
No, sir, no. It was just a printed report. That this wouldn't be the date no, it just has the date, the December 24th on it.
Okay, thank you. I have no further questions.
Redirect examination by David Harris.
Mr. Graybill, since we're talking about the Medina's box, I don't know how your handwriting is, so I hate to put you on the spot.
No problem.
Would you grab one of those pens over there and write on their Medina where the box that represents their house is at 516?
Their house faces this way, and they have a little porch, and their mailbox was on the wall on the inside of the porch. As you walk up to their house, there was a wall here on the front door, and the front door is right here. It opens in, rather, and their mailbox would sit right there, right here on this wall.
Okay, hold on a second. I just lost my space. Okay, hang on.
You're at, okay, can
Yeah,
you?
no, I know, but my silly thing moved. So I
I
have to
hate
get
when
back.
it happens. Happened to me one time. Oh.
Okay, so you are over here. Okay. Okay, can you at 516 You've drawn an arrow to represent where the porch and the box is. Can you just write in the word Medina in that box so we know which house is there?
Marks the map.
And let's just label some of this so we don't lose track of this over time. 520, who was there?
That was Venable. Tara Venable? I don't always read all the names well, but it began with a V and it was like Venable. And this was the Wilms, and this was a family with a Mexican name of Martinez or something of that nature.
Okay, you don't need to label that one. Go on to the Covita.
They had a street box up here, and I don't remember their name.
And 523, that's the Peterson house.
This is the Peterson house, and this was, sometimes I identify them by what they do. Like this was a nurse, you know what I mean? I don't always know the name, but she gets a lot of nurses' catalogs, so I know she's a nurse, you know? And then this was an elderly couple with a motor homes, so that's...
Going back, go ahead and have a seat.
Okay.
Going back to what you've written there as Venable 520, was there a vehicle that you always remember at that house?
There was a white van parked out on the street that was some kind of a service company, and that they did work for.
And did you see it as part of your route on a regular basis?
Most days it was there, some days it wasn't, but it was, you know, it was like a route van or something that had a sign on the side of it.
Let me go back to the Medina's mailbox real quick. Mr. Garagos was trying to do the demonstration of how that particular box worked right around the 24th of 2002, December 24th, 2002. Had that box been changed from another box?
Yes, they were concerned about their outgoing mail. Susan Medina worked at home and had a lot of outgoing mail every day, and she just wanted to make sure that she was as secure as possible. Plus, people who get checks in the mail, that kind of thing, they want to secure their mailbox any way they can.
Now, you were asked specifically if you had any, or you were asked if you had any specific recollection about different things or what you might have had delivered, because this was the holiday season. Were you thinking about packages at that time?
Always. Every day is a dilemma. Do I leave the package, or do I take it back and make them come down to the post office at 5:30 at night on Christmas Eve? Can they get there? Can they get it? Yeah, you worry about that stuff. Should I notify it? Shouldn't I?
So on the 24th of December, 24th, Christmas Eve, 2002, were you trying to deliver as many of those packages? Were you trying to make people go down to the post office?
I was trying on delivery I was trying to deliver as many of them as possible. I have two jobs. I deliver the mail and I safeguard the mail. And as long as something isn't being left out day after day, I generally don't get concerned.
All right, and you were asked about looking at the particular document, People's Number 34, that's projected up on the screen right now. Even though it doesn't tell you when it was printed, it does indicate on this document that that is for the route of Tuesday, December 24th, 2002.
That's where I was all day.
And you have the handwritten information on there. That's what you wrote.
That's my signature and my handwriting.
And so the best of, based on looking at that scan time, 10:19, that is AM, right?
Yes, sir.
I mean, I don't want to make a joke about this, but just for the record, the post office doesn't deliver mail at night too often.
Too often, sir.
Okay. And based on that, you were on that street by the Petersons' house, or in the general area between 10:35 and 10:50.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Re-cross-examination by Mark Garagos.
Mr. Graybill, did any memory of whether Susan Medina had any outgoing mail that day?
I do not remember, sir.
Would Mackenzie bark at you, that golden retriever?
I do remember. Not that day, sir.
Okay, and do you remember the way you described the dog being on the
Property,
Property. I think we got another map up here. It's been marked People's 12. Is this the driveway that I'm pointing to right here in the gate? The mailbox is approximately where?
right there, sir.
Right there?
Right on this side of the gate, over here on the wall.
Do you want to mark that where the mailbox is? Okay. And then if this is the grass and this is the street,
Yes, sir.
what you're telling the jury is that the dog was out, the dog would stay in this area here.
Yes, sir. The dog generally, the few times that I saw the dog actually get out, it would come from here. This gate would be left open.
Okay.
The only time I encountered the dog is here.
When you were saying this gate, just so for the record it's clear, gate number 2.
Yes, sir. Gate number 2.
So if that's left open,
She would come running out here to me as I came across the property.
okay. The dog would stay on the grass but not go in the street?
Not after me.
Okay, that'd even be if you were walking in the street, the dog would not come out to the street, would, just as you described it, very territorial, would stay on the grass, wouldn't leave to go into the street.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, I have no further questions. Okay. So let's see how, the other one's a short one. See how.
Is the audience awake?
I don't know, is the audience awake?
Are they or no?
Of course I'm awake. I'm always
Of course.
The other one's a pretty long one, so I think we should just go over the headlines maybe and see what's going on.
Yeah.
Done now?
What's going
Sure.
on today in the news. Does anybody know what's going on today?
No idea. I have no idea what day it is.
Kidding? I don't even know what day it is either.
Good month.
It's Sunday, sorta, right?
Yeah, Sunday sorta.
They
Yeah.
found out that the Idaho kids, that Kaylee had injuries that were significantly more brutal than the other victims.
Wow.
Did you know that? Let's see what that says. It says that of one of the 4 Idaho students that was stabbed to death 3 weeks ago had injuries that were substantially more severe than the other victims. The injuries to Kaylee Goncalves were reportedly more significantly brutal than the injuries to victims Madison, Zana Kernoodle, or Ethan Chapin. Let's see. They did not cite, this was reported on News Nation, who did not cite the sources for the revelation, which it first appeared on Sunday evening, and it was not clear whether there was official confirmation from the police, but the development came after her father, Stephen Goncalves, said on Saturday that authorities classified the manner of death for his daughter differently than for Madison. Investigators believe that the 4 students were stabbed to death between 3 and 4 a.m. on November 13th in the off-campus residence. 2 other roommates who were there on the ground floor at the time of the murders were not attacked, and police do not believe they were involved in the murders. Earlier on Sunday, Stephen Goncalves said he believed his daughter or Madison were targeted because they were killed on the 3rd floor of the home, and investigators told them that they believe the perpetrator entered the residence from a 2nd floor sliding door. To me, he doesn't have to go upstairs, Stephen Goncalves said, referring to the killer. I'm using logic that he chose to go up there when he didn't have to. The 3-story house is built into a hill, and the sliding doors on the 2nd and 3rd floor, in addition to the external door on the ground floor that leads to the driveway. Law enforcement has not yet made any arrests in connection, and any information, 208-883-7180. That's weird. So it's making it sound like those 2 girls were the target. Or they might have all 4 been, but that is such a crazy thing. And no indication about the 6th roommate. We have this woman. A 69-year-old Tennessee woman has been charged with murder after she allegedly shot someone to death after an argument. Carter County Sheriff's Office said it found the victim suffering from multiple gunshot wounds. They transported the victim to Johnson City Medical Center, where he died. Sheriff's Office says Cynthia J. Ellis called 911 at about 8 a.m. and said she just shot somebody. Officers arrived and took Ellis into custody, where medical personnel worked on the victim. The victim's identity has not been released. Carter County Sheriff Mike Fraley said the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, TBI, assisted in the case, but officials have not released any further indication or information about what led to the shooting. So we have no idea why she shot this person. Okay. And North Carolina residents, gunfire knocked out 2 power substations in central North Carolina Saturday night, which plunged thousands of customers into the dark and cold. Officials say full restoration of power in Moore County could take days, as badly damaged equipment will have to be repaired or replaced before the stations can be brought back online. Moore County declared a state of emergency Sunday afternoon and announced a 9 to 5 a.m. curfew every night until the situation is resolved. The school board announced schools are going to be closed until at least Monday. Meanwhile, the county opened an emergency shelter at the Moore County Sports Complex as temperatures were expected to drop into the 30s and hundreds more residents crowded onto highways to move to an area where the power was not affected. Moore County Sheriff Ronnie Field said the county faced something last night here in Moore County that we have never faced before. We are living in some challenging times. Someone pulled up and opened fire on the substation. The same thing with the other one. Fields said the attack was targeted, but that no group has stepped up to acknowledge or accept that they're the ones that have done it. They don't have any cameras there? The sheriff said the FBI and state agencies have joined on the investigation. North Carolina Governor Roy Cooper offered assistance from the state level and said the attack was serious and an intentional crime. More than 40,000 customers of Duke Energy and the Randolph Electrical Membership Corporation were without power. Duke Energy spokesperson Jeff Brooks told the Southern Pines pilot that it could be as late as Thursday before all the power is restored because some of the equipment was so badly damaged that it will have to be replaced instead of repaired. The estimate to complete all the repairs are already into the millions of dollars. Now, could somebody have done this in order to go in and now if they don't have electricity, all their security systems won't be working, right?
Right.
Is that what you think that was the purpose of this? Why the hell would they do this, right?
Yeah.
So Auburn Reynolds, a system planner engineer with Randolph Electric membership, said the person or persons who attacked the stations knew how they worked and knew they were connected with one another. But why also don't they have cameras at these substations? The sheriff's office said they began to get calls about power outages at about 7 p.m., which was about the exact time a controversial drag performances were scheduled to begin in Southern Pines. Protesters gathered outside the theater where the show was held, describing it as porn, not female impersonation. Oh, that's what this is about? Although most had never seen a drag show, but largely dispersed by the time the show began, although a tight security presence remained on scene. The show ended early when the cascading power failures reached the Sunrise Theater. Some county residents posted on social media that the drag show was the reason the power stations were knocked out, and authorities have not commented on these claims. What the heck?
Wow.
It's crazy. Oh my gosh, listen to this guy. A self-proclaimed polygamist prophet is in jail in Arizona. He's charged with child abuse for allowing young children to ride unsecured in the back of a trailer and federal charges of destroying evidence. But according to an affidavit that was filed in court on Friday, Samuel Bateman has more than 20 wives, many of whom are under the age of 15. The affidavit from the FBI was filed in Spokane, Washington, where 8 girls who disappeared from group homes in Arizona on Sunday were recovered on Thursday. The girls, all supposedly wives of Bateman, were originally taken from Bateman's homes in Colorado City, Arizona. A 9th girl also disappeared. Her whereabouts was unknown. The girls were in the company of a woman who had become a wife of Bateman when she was under 18. A federal complaint accuses the woman, Moretta Rose Johnson, and 2 other women of kidnapping. One of the other women was arrested Thursday in Colorado City. The status of the 3rd woman is unknown. FBI agents raided the homes on September 13th. According to search warrants, they were searching for evidence of SA between adults and children underage marriages. Bateman was arrested at the time, and several girls were briefly removed from the homes, then returned. On the following day, state officials took the 9 girls into custody. According to the affidavit, the FBI has probable cause to believe that he and others in an offshoot of the Fundamentalist Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, itself a sect of polygamous fundamentalist Mormons led by Warren Jeffs, who is serving a life sentence plus 20 years in prison after being convicted of 2 counts of child SA, trafficked girls back and forth across the state lines for illicit sexual conduct between May 2020 and November 2021. The affidavit reveals that Bateman told a man who was filming a documentary and his wife that God told them to give the most precious thing he has, his girl's virtue, to 3 men, his followers, while he watched. The girls, one of whom was 12 at the time, sacrificed their virtue for the Lord, Bateman said. Oh my gosh. The FBI agent who wrote the affidavit listened to a recording made by the couple who was traveling with Bateman at the time in one of his luxury Bentley automobiles. God will fix their bodies and put the membrane back in their body. I've never had more confidence in doing his will. It's all out of love, Bateman reportedly said. The affidavit said that Bateman began to call himself a prophet in 2019. People in Colorado City, including some of Bateman's relatives, began calling law enforcement about his behavior in 2020. Bateman was initially arrested in August 28th at a traffic stop near Flagstaff. When officers found the girls riding in the back of his trailer, he was later arrested, then rearrested at the search of his home 2 weeks later. Wow. Crazy. Oh my gosh. Okay, we need some comic relief. This is like stupid criminals. This guy. Florida man chose the wrong place and time to go shoplifting. According to reports, the man, whom was identified only as Brad, is accused of trying to steal from Walmart in St. Cloud, Florida. The problem? Well, he tried to take the items when the store was filled with dozens of law enforcement because it was Shop with a Cop Day. Seriously, can't make this up.
It was
Shop with a Cop Day. Seriously, you can't make this up. The Osceola County Sheriff's Office said Brad decided to steal from our good neighbors and partners in Walmart of St. Cloud while we were conducting the Shop with a Cop event with the children of the community. Bad news, Brad. The store was full of deputies, almost 40 of them, besides the forensic team, the community services team, the CSOs, the OCSO majors, and the sheriff, Marcos R. Lopez. Bad idea, Brad. Among the items that Brad allegedly attempted to steal was a perfume bottle. The sheriff's office social media post garnered significant snark from commenters. Genius, simply genius, one person wrote. Another one said, he didn't know you guys were going to be there, sarcasm. He thought it was going to be a regular shoplifting day for him. 2 jobs at the same time, arresting him and teaching the kids why you shouldn't do that. It's not clear how Brad missed the various law enforcement vehicles that were parked outside the store and the numerous uniformed officers roaming around inside. Oh my gosh. Sorry, Brad.
This is a special kind of stupid.
Yeah, right? Oh my gosh. Crazy.
Jeanette.
Okay, and then some more comic relief.
Oh,
Reckless driver in the Walmart parking lot turns out to be a dog. A reckless driver smashed into 2 cars in a Texas Walmart parking lot last week. Unfortunately, no one was hurt. The Kilgore police responded to the scene and learned that from a witness that the driver was a real dog. Yes, an actual 4-footed dog was literally behind the wheel. Oh my God. Police say the dog was waiting in the vehicle while his humans were inside the store. He apparently got a little antsy, bounced around the cab, setting the truck in motion. The dog owner said the steering column had some prior damage that apparently made it easier for the dog to shift gears. He was wearing a leash, which apparently seems to have got caught on the emergency brake and released it. The dog, too, was not hurt, and police didn't provide the good boy's name. No charges were filed against the dog. Oh my gosh. Crazy. Okay, and then there was a handprint that was seen on the Idaho murders house. Let's see, it's the day after Moscow police announced it had hired a private security company at the house where the 4 Idaho college students were brutally murdered, Fox News published photos. One of its freelance photographers shot through the windows of the house, including one that showed a handprint next to evidence tape. So this is apparently the photograph. There's the handprint. Look at that. Fox didn't say which window the handprint appears on, but other photos show the house's kitchen, which is on the 2nd floor according to layouts of the house published by News Nation. The 1st and 2nd floors both have ground level entrances. The 3rd is only accessible from inside the house. In the kitchen, red Solo cups sat on the counter and dirty dishes filled the sink. An empty beer bottle sits in one window and a television set switched on displays a no network connection message. Police are still maintaining control of the crime scene and recently towed 5 vehicles that had been sitting in the parking lot since the November 13th murders. Surviving roommates speak out. Investigators say they have no suspect and have found no murder weapon. They have, however, eliminated a number of potential suspects, including 2 roommates who apparently slept through the murders on the 1st floor. These 2 roommates broke their silence Friday in letters they wrote to their slain roommates. The letters were read by a youth pastor during a service for the murdered students at Real Life Ministries in Post Falls. Dylan Mortensen wrote that Kernodle and Chapin were the 2 best friends, but perfect pair together. She wrote that Mojin and Goncalves were like second moms to me, who changed the way I look at life. Bethany Funk wrote that Mojin was a big sister she always wanted, and she said she wished she could give her roommates one last hug and tell them how much she loved them. And then there's one more update about them, which is that...
I hope they find who did this.
That they returned to the scene to go to a 2nd floor bedroom. Let's see what they find there. Law enforcement on Saturday returned to the Idaho home where the 4 college students were murdered 3 weeks ago. Video recorded by News Nation on scene showed 3 officials walking up to the house at 1122 King Road just before 5:30 p.m. and spoke with a police officer or security guard posted at the site. The sun had set. It was dark outside. It was difficult to see what was happening. At the time investigators arrived, yellow police tape was wrapped around the house. The windows were dark, with only a few external lights illuminating the driveway. 3 members of law enforcement just went into the house. Not sure if it's local detectives or FBI. They walked up from somewhere, didn't park on the driveway, according to Brian Enton from News Nation. Voices could be heard in the recording, but the statements were inaudible. After several seconds, the group of 3 investigators headed toward the front door of the home. At least one appeared to be carrying some sort of bag or briefcase, piece of equipment. The group then shut the front door. Moments later, News Nation captured an image of an investigator at a window. Lights now turning on in bedrooms. Investigators looking around, Brian Enton wrote. Sunday marked 3 weeks since the murders on November 13th. 2 of the victims were found on the 2nd floor. Another was found on the 3rd floor of the house, which is built into a hill off campus. Investigators believe the perpetrator murdered the victims between 3 and 4 a.m.
It's been 3 weeks already.
2 were found on the 2nd, 2 were found on the 3rd. Yeah, and I also heard that they went back and they got evidence bags. They got more evidence bags out of the house. Let's see, hold on a minute. They were using evidence markers. The cameraman saw lights on the 2nd floor and the 1st level. Cameraman later said investigators turned off the lights and they could be seen using flashlights. They're looking for something in one of the downstairs bedrooms. Brian Enton said, noting that the light was emanating from a crack in the window blinds. It's the downstairs left bedroom they're in now, and we know that none of the victims were found on the downstairs floor. I don't know why they're focused on that room. By 6:49 p.m., Enton posted a Twitter picture of investigators leaving the scene. Oh, here it is, with investigators carrying paper bags out of the residence. That's what I saw. Investigators leaving the house. They're carrying several paper bags, which we know are evidence bags. Saturday, before the investigators were spotted on scene, Moscow police said it received more than 2,600 email tips, upwards of, I think it's, what is that, 2 million calls? I don't know if that's a typo. To the tip line, and nearly 1,100 digital media submissions in the investigation. Authorities collected 113 pieces of physical evidence. It took about 4,000 crime scene photos. Police said they had also taken multiple 3-dimensional scans of the residence. They have not identified any suspects in connection with the murders. To report anything, call 208-883-7180. Can't believe that. I think something is going to come soon with all those evidence bags.
You think what?
Something will come out soon now with all those evidence bags.
I hope so.
It usually does. Let's see. It usually does. Oh, here's a dad. Hold on.
Kevin said 4,000 photos.
4,000, yeah. Okay, we went over that. The father believes 41. Okay, and then to the little girl that was taken by that FedEx driver. That's crazy.
Oh, I know. It's heartbreaking.
And you know what's really bad? She had like words, I guess, with the stepmother, and she probably was like mad. And then you know the stepmother's going to feel terrible. The father's there's going to be like a lot of blame, and then her mother, even if she doesn't, she's just going to be so much blame and resentment around everyone that's, you know what I mean? You know what happens?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Even if they say, no, it's not your fault, or there's always going to be blame and resentment.
Always, yeah. Always.
The grandfather of a 7-year-old Texas girl who was kidnapped and murdered by a contracted delivery driver hired by FedEx wrote eloquently on Facebook of his struggle between hate and love and his determination that hate will not win. Athena Strand disappeared from her home on Wednesday afternoon after an argument with her stepmother. A 2-day search ended when investigators found when 31-year-old Tanner Horner led them to the body. That's the contracted driver. Mark Strand, the little girl's grandfather, wrote this about his anger at Horner and also the soft, gentle voice in the back of his head telling him that he needs to forgive. He wrote, "I can't quiet my mind and I have to share this. A friend just asked me the other day if I believe God speaks to people. I happen to know, hold on a minute, this is loading. I happen to know he does, and he's speaking to me now. This flesh, this man that I am, is angry, and I want 5 minutes alone in a cell with that psycho that took our Athena away from us. But there's a soft, gentle voice in the back of my head telling me I need to forgive him. This flesh man wants that psycho to burn in hell for all eternity, yet the gentle voice continues to tell me I need to forgive him. This flesh man hopes he remains blind and deaf to the message of salvation and never sets foot in the same heaven that I know in my heart and my darling Athena resides in now, and yet that gentle voice persists. Why, you ask? Because hate is a powerful force that will take root in your soul. God wants to protect us all from that hate. Hate is the gateway for the evil we see growing in the world today. If you stood that man before me right now, because of that hate that's trying to root itself in my mind, I would probably kill him. Then that hate would root itself into my heart, and I would be destroyed. That gentle voice is the Holy Spirit of God speaking to me right now. He's reminding me that my Savior Jesus willingly laid himself on a cross and died in my place to reconcile me to God the Father, but also that he did it for all of us, even this man that my flesh so hates at this very moment. I am a sinful man, yet I've heard this voice before, and I miss hearing this voice. If I allow this hate to consume me, the voice will fade and eventually be silenced. Then that ugly spirit of hate will have succeeded, and that's why this gentle voice persists to tell me I need to forgive this man. It's for my protection and my peace. It's to set me free from this hate and allow me to continue to hear God's gentle voice. There's not 1 ounce of my flesh that wants to do this or say this, but my spirit has heard God's voice, and right now, while tears flood my eyes, I declare publicly that I forgive this man. Hate will not win. I hope my family will understand that I don't do this for the sake of this man. I do this for the sake of my family and myself, and to honor the voice of God, who is giving me the strength to say this. I do this to honor our precious Athena, who knew no hate. This man won't be allowed any real estate to live in my brain. He belongs to God, and God's justice will be done. Love conquers all and forgives today. I choose love, and hate loses. And hate loses, I'm sorry.
Oh,
Well,
so horrible.
yeah, it's crazy. And, let's see.
What a terrible case that is.
Yeah. It's horrible too, because then even like they have to think like whatever was the last words to her,
Yeah.
probably
and
weren't nice, and they,
Yeah.
and like I said, the mother and the father got to think like, well, maybe if you hadn't done that, maybe if you had gone after, maybe if you, right? And it's just going to be, even if they say, I'm not going to, it's always going to come
Right.
back. Always going to come back.
Always, yes, always.
That marriage will not last. It's over.
Because it's like, especially because she was this stepmother, and oh boy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's over. It's over.
Just terrible.
Yeah, there's going to be so much resentment. It's just... yeah.
Switch the topic super quick. Did you see a picture of Colty? What he looks like now?
Colty from 90 Day?
Yeah, but it's like the single life or something. I don't know, Carolyn. You
I'm gonna
gotta
look.
check it
I'm going
out.
to check it out.
It's got real long hair now.
It's on again?
Well, I just saw like on YouTube, a couple of channels pulled up, clips of it. And Debbie's got a boyfriend. She's like
Baby.
thin now.
Oh,
Kinda.
wow. This is his Instagram. Wow. This is... come on. He had to have something done to himself. Well, look. That doesn't even look like the same guy.
It's him. I heard him talking. And him and Debbie, they just showed a clip of them
Baby.
arguing.
Is that his new girlfriend? Oh, there he looks like himself. Is that his new girlfriend?
I don't know. I think so. Let me get onto YouTube so I can see. Oh, wow, Carolyn. I didn't see that. He had real long hair. He actually looks kind of good right there.
That must be his new girlfriend.
Rosalita said facelift for sure.
He had something done to himself, yeah.
Wow.
That's not him, too, is it? No, that can't be him.
He has long hair in the clips I saw, but it was like down on his shoulders.
But there was
And
always
Debbie has
something
a
very
boyfriend?
strange about him to me. Like, I don't know.
There
what-
is, I know. And
No,
Debbie was,
but about the way his body was, like,
yes, he
shaped
was
in the beginning. Like, it
like
was
that, Carolyn.
weird. It was like he had weight loss surgery had previously, and he had, like, an olive excess skin, maybe, or something. It was
I don't know.
very odd.
But he has like those feet, you know, that go outward. He was sitting there, you know, still in the chair with those.
Oh, there's Davy. There's
Yeah,
Davy.
she's got a boyfriend.
Davy has a boyfriend.
And he's older. She was bawling her eyes out. He was holding her, hugging her.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Debbie, let me check that. Wendy Day.
She was wanting an apology or something from Colt. And Colt, he wouldn't give it to her. He wasn't falling for her tears.
Oh, there's her boyfriend.
Is this his Instagram? Oh, it is. Okay.
There's Davy. She looks different, Davy.
Yeah, she does.
A new video shows Debbie Johnson from 90 Day Fiancé is still living in British Columbia with her new boyfriend, Canadian boyfriend Tony. Seems that Davy and Tony are still together.
Oh, Carolyn, Rosalita said he remarried.
Who, Colty?
Yeah,
Oh, that's his new wife?
I guess so.
Any new children? I mean, any children?
I don't know. Let's see if Rosalita knows.
Oh gosh, she looks so different. Look at this picture. This doesn't even look like her.
That's what I'm saying.
That doesn't even look like her.
She looked really good in what I saw.
How old is he? How old is she?
I think she's probably late 50s.
She's like on the show now. She's headlining as an
Yes,
90
yes.
Day, the single life. Davy Johnson is packing her bags for a big move to Canada. On Monday
Yeah,
night's
she's
episode, the
really
reality
wow.
TV mom is gearing up to leave life in America behind, and she's going to move in with her new boyfriend, Tony. There's one thing weighing on Debbie's mind. She still hasn't told her son, Colt Johnson, she decided to move. During the episode, Debbie puts boxes into storage with the help of a friend, all the while considering the difficult relationship with her son, she's become quite distant in recent years. Before she could tell Colty, Debbie had to tell a friend, "I'm going to Canada with Tony." Debbie said, after a moment's hesitation, her friend had a simple yet concerned response. "Okie dokie. You've got guts." When Debbie asked the friend if she thought the move was a mistake, the friend said, "I think it's fast." She added, "I'm happy for you both, but scared shitless." Even though Debbie's best friend wasn't totally sold on the idea, she wasn't the hardest person Debbie had to tell. Debbie still contemplated how she's going to tell Colty.
What's the title of the show now that they're
The
in?
Single Life.
Huh?
The Single Life.
Single Life. Okay. I knew it was something different. Okay.
So he is married to somebody named Vanessa Guerra.
Rosalita said he married the quote unquote friend of his. No kids, but I haven't watched for a year or so.
Okay, so she said, "I never thought I could have children before Colt's dad. I was married to my first husband, Steve." This is her third marriage. "We were very much in love, and I became pregnant when I was 17. Steve has been drafted. He was between boot camp and being shipped to Vietnam. We got married. 7 months later, I had a premature baby, and he passed away." Oh, wow. After the war, Debbie lost Steve as well, not to death, but to the new person he'd become during his time in the military. With someone new, Debbie conceived again, despite doctors telling her she couldn't get pregnant again. "My baby was born 3 months early. I didn't know if he was going to live or not, but he did." And that's Colty. So he's very precious. He's very special. I don't want to lose him. He's my miracle baby. Let's see. "I hope he's happy for me," Debbie said. Oh, so she hasn't told Colty?
So he's not on the single life then, right? Since he's married?
Right, she's on, his mother's the star of that. And she jokes that maybe Tony could be a psycho. Asks, what have I gotten myself into? Wow. Oh, he's got a skull and dragon covered home. He has a dark side, Tony.
Wow, Jeanette said she thinks she's 70.
Debbie, I don't think she's that old, is she?
She could be.
Oh, wait, no. Okay, here's Tony is 69. He looks older than 69.
Yeah, he does. He looks older.
Oh, and she's 69.
Oh, wow. Is she really?
Yeah.
Wow, you were right, Jeanette. Very close to 70.
She begins to notice skulls and dragons everywhere. I like your skulls up there, she tells Tony. He responds, do you see the dragon? Oh, wow. The last surprise is a black Christmas tree in Tony's bedroom.
Oh.
He keeps it up year round. Tony's house is definitely different, Debbie says. Who the F has a black Christmas tree with purple and blue lights and spiders on it? It isn't all bad, though. Tony has cleared out an entire dresser for Debbie.
Wow. We have to watch this.
How did she meet this guy?
I don't know. Oh gosh, you have to see Larissa.
Oh, Larissa, what happened?
Carolyn, look her up. I saw her too. You would not believe it.
Is she married?
It's just the surgery she's had. I don't know. Unbelievable. It's horrible.
No, it's bad?
Her body? Wait till you see her body.
I'm trying to look. I'm looking at pictures now. These don't look that bad. Let me see.
You'll know.
Are you gonna show us on there?
Yeah, I will, but I'm trying to find her.
When you find her, when you see it, you'll know which picture I'm talking about.
Let me see.
I saw it, I think, on Reddit. I was shocked.
I don't know. She looks good in all these pictures.
Yeah, you haven't found it yet then.
She had I'm going to put post-surgery.
Doesn't even look like it'd be real.
Not this. Hold on. It can't be that.
Well, wait, it hasn't come up yet. No, not that. No. It's a full body, and she's sitting on the floor, like in her living room or something.
Full body, and she's sitting on the floor in her living room. Do you have a link you can send me in the messenger?
I'm gonna look right now. I'll go back on there, see.
She had a botched tummy tuck, I see.
You're getting close.
Oh, that's so gross. What happened to her? What are all those spots? Ew.
You didn't see the full thing yet, though, did you?
No, but there's like something that looks like...
Well, that's not what I'm even talking about.
Bugs are coming out of her stomach. Ugh.
Okay, it should pop up here now.
Oh, that was so gross. Oh, not the one where she's sitting on the floor in lingerie?
Yes. Do you see?
Yeah, but look at this is what's so gross. Look at this. What the heck? She said her belly button was removed without her consent.
What?
Look at that. It is so gross. It looks like bugs.
Now wait. Well, wait. I'm still trying to find the one I was talking about.
Oh, here, this one I can show. The other one's a little scanty.
But did you see how she's got like a six
It
pack?
doesn't look, yes, but
And
doesn't.
then her butt is so
But
humongous.
look at her. It doesn't even look like her face.
Is she wearing glasses?
No, but it looks like it's heavily airbrushed. Let's see here. Yeah, she's got like she got like a six pack.
And then a humongous butt, like,
Yeah, they all want the humongous butt now. I don't understand that.
and her waist is like super, super tiny.
Yeah, even though it makes their thighs look really big, they get this huge butt, which they all want that. I don't know why. My belly button was removed without my consent. I did 3 painful revisions to create a belly button, and unfortunately it was never fixed. Ugh.
Ooh, see, I didn't see that. I'm still.
Yeah, ugh. There's like pictures like worse than that. That's like, I think it's like, ugh. What the?
Now I can't find it. Maybe I'm getting close to it. Oh, here it is, Carolyn. You're not going to be able to show it though.
Is it the one where she's in the blue lingerie?
No.
Oh. Is it the one with her butt sticking out?
She's sitting on the floor on a rug
Yeah.
wearing like a pink underwear thingy, like a thong.
Yeah.
Hers, no.
But then now the Sister Wives, something's happening on there too.
I'm still going to send it to you just to be sure. It's the one that you have.
Poor Janelle is crying.
But you won't be able to show it.
Cody and Janelle's problems will only intensify. We haven't been acting like a married couple for most of our marriage, Janelle, Cody tells her. I'm spitting mad now, Janelle says. Maybe this is not a good fit. Maybe this doesn't work, Cody says. It feels like we're unraveling. Yeah, I think he doesn't want to be there anymore. Janelle seems shocked by the conversation. She says, I'm thinking, what the H am I doing here? Cody compares his other relationships to his marriage with Robin, saying, I have somebody in life who is fundamentally loyal to me. Oh, wow. Prompting Janelle to say, I'm not going to become Robin.
They're all falling apart, aren't they?
He's so into Robin.
Mary's still hanging on though. I wonder why.
He's still hanging on to Mary, you said?
Well, I mean, she is, as far as I know.
I thought she
I don't think they live together, but
had a lover, didn't she?
Mary?
I don't know. I thought she did. She was
Christine?
catfished by somebody, and
Mary? I don't know, I didn't see that.
I thought so.
Last I saw, she was still part of the family.
Sister wives. Christine forces Cody to move his stuff. Christine, Cody Brown's bombshell. The end of their relationship. I think he wants to cut that both loose. He probably
Right.
wants Robin to get 2 nice young wives.
Yeah, and him and that, I think you were just talking about her.
Yeah, I think he
They're
wants.
not getting along.
I think
good
he wants
either.
to move on with Robin, and then what's going to happen? Then he's going to want 2 younger than her, and then she's going to get
Mhm.
old, and he's just going to want somebody younger again.
Probably.
Oh, Mary said, who said this? The real Mary Brown said, with a picture of her and Cody. She said, let's just clarify something here. I love this man. I don't owe anyone an explanation, but I'll do it anyway. I'm well aware that we as a family have chosen to put ourselves out there, which in turn brings about the kind of speculation, commentary, and opinions, but it comes down to this. My relationship with him is my relationship with him. Sure, we've had our ups and downs through the years. I mean, isn't that somewhat normal? High highs, low lows, all of which you get to see some of and speculate on, and that's okay. You do, you boo. But here's the truth. I love him. I love my family. I'm committed. I have 30 years in this. We struggle. We communicate. We repair relationships as the parties involved are willing and able. I'm an independent person who does her own thing. I travel a lot. Well, pre-COVID, that is. I have multiple businesses. I have many friends. I have male friends. Gasp. Shocker, she says. And I won't apologize for that. I'm human. I have feelings. I make mistakes. I rise when I'm fallen. Sometimes it takes longer than other times to rise. I will always rise. I get angry. I feel peace. I feel pain. I feel joy. I forgive. I love. I'm human. I'm here. I'm committed. Not going anywhere. Don't get your hopes up on that.
Yeah, I had a feeling she wasn't going to go anywhere.
Yep, she's not going anywhere. But meanwhile, Janelle and Cody look like
Yeah, Janelle and him haven't been getting along either, I guess.
not too good. Meanwhile, Christine, at this time, Christine said, Cody and I have grown apart. We have made the difficult decision. I've made the difficult decision to leave, noting that they will continue to be a strong presence in each other's lives as we parent our beautiful children and support our wonderful family. Cody also released a statement saying Christine's decision to leave comes with a great deal of sadness. We enjoyed many years together, and I have a large amount of respect and admiration for her. Although we are moving forward on different paths, we will always remain committed parents. Fans got to see the split play out on the season 16 of the TLC show. Christine became increasingly independent in recent seasons, distancing herself from Cody and his other wives. I really like living separate. Remember, she always says in the beginning, I think I like pure marriage. It's the way marriage is supposed to be.
Yeah.
Now she says, I really like living separate. I like my own space. I like my own autonomy. I feel like I like me better now. And I feel like I've been able to really raise my kids how I want. I feel like a person. As a person, I do better with a little more distance. As for the moment that ended things between her and Cody, Christine recalls a conversation with her own father. He said, at what point are you going to start saying no? You're always saying yes to everything. At what point are you going to start saying no? Noting that Cody didn't know how to handle this sudden change in his wife, Christine said, I think that he heard, but he had no idea what to do, that I changed so much in a blink. Everything changed, and Cody withdrew, and I withdrew, and we just withdrew. Cody was much less willing to discuss the split on camera. He said, we can sit and say, he said, till the cows come home, she's told you things that I fundamentally disagree with, and all I'm doing now is defending myself. But season 17 is going to center around the messy breakup between Christine and Cody. Cody confronts Christine in front of her fellow sister wives and says, "You never tried to really have a good relationship with these other people." Cody screams. And that's the reason I'm pissed off. Man, just a knife in the kidney after all these years. The sacrifices that I made to love you.
Okay.
Christine has declared she plans to only enter into monogamous relationships from here on out. Okay.
I know. I'm happy for her.
And Robin, though Cody considers himself to be spiritually married to his 4 wives. 4 wives? Wait, 1, 2,
Yeah.
3, yeah, 4, okay. He is only legally married to Robin. The couple tied the knot in 2010. They share 3 children. She had 3 children? And Robin has 3 more from a previous marriage. She had 3 children?
Yeah.
She had
I guess so.
Samson, then she had a girl, and then she had another one?
She had a boy first with him,
And then a girl.
and then a girl. I guess she has had a third one now.
When did she have the 3rd one?
I don't know. And did you see where the daughter of she's Cody and not Christine.
No,
the one that
Madison? Madison?
Yeah, did you see that about her baby?
Oh, something happened to her baby, right? It has some birth defect?
She has some birth defects, yeah. She's missing some fingers, and I think one leg is shorter than the other, and stuff like that.
And none of their kids went into this polygamy, right?
No.
Yeah.
I can't believe it's been on that long. 10 years since she had that.
Yeah, but how the freak old is Robin?
Crazy. That's when I was all into it.
Oh, she's having baby number 3.
Okay.
But how old is Robin?
She got to be getting up there. She ain't looking so young these days.
Well, when did she have her last baby?
I don't know.
Let me see how old she is.
She's got to be getting close to 40.
Oh my gosh, she's over 40. I think she's getting close to 50.
Well, she's always had that older look to her.
Let's see. Okay, Christine is 50. Cody
Christine
is 53. Janelle is 53.
Wow.
And let's see. Robin is 44.
Okay, I'm not, yeah. I would guess that's about right.
But when did she have her last baby?
Ah.
I don't remember her 3rd baby. Remember when she said she was going to have one for Mary?
Yes. I was just thinking of that last night when I was reading about them.
I don't know why Mary never took her up on that. Okay, all right, just drop it off when it's ready, all right?
Yeah. I know, right?
Oh my gosh. Let's see. Robin, let's see. Marriage, children. Robin has 3 children, the first. Dayton, Aurora Alice, and Brianna Rose. Have 2, no, see? They only have 2 children.
Oh,
That
2?
other
Okay.
article is wrong. I knew she didn't have a 3rd one. Solomon and Ariella May.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't have been
I'm gonna try it
surprised if
again.
she'd had another one.
Robin Brown, how many kids with Cody? Yeah, she's got just 2 with Cody. Solomon's 10, Ariella's 6 already.
Wow.
So she was 34 and 38. Yeah, and then they've got Aspen, Gwendolyn, Yazbel, McKelty. McKelty? That's, whose is McKelty's? That's Christine's, right?
Yeah.
No, wait, McKelty's
Yes.
Mary's, is it?
She's the one that got married to that weird guy.
No. This is McKelty. This is, whose daughter is this?
And she's married to the one kid that they had to have 4,000 street tacos for their reception.
Wait a second. This is McKelty. Isn't that Mary's daughter?
No, Mariah is Mary's daughter.
She didn't invite Cody to her home delivery. Her husband is Antonio Tony
Yep.
Padron, who they welcomed twin sons?
They did?
Yes, 6 days ago.
Oh, wow.
Hold on. She had, oh my gosh.
Twins?
Yeah, it says that is opening up, sharing her first photos with her daughter, Avalon Asia, at 19 months, and twin sons, Archer and Ace. A twin in one arm, and her in one arm, and her current. Okay. Yeah, she had. Kelty. Oh my gosh, they're just like machines, aren't
This
they?
is already her second pregnancy, so she got 3 kids with him?
Yeah, they're like, they just churn them out like nothing.
Is that Christine with her? Oh, wait, never mind, that's the mother.
No, that's her. Look at her.
Oh.
She was pregnant with twins. Look how big she is.
Yeah.
Wow. And she had a home birth, I guess, and didn't invite him.
I can't stand that couple.
I don't even know that guy. I don't even know them.
He's weird, Rosalita Marie, isn't he? He expected everything when they were getting married. I don't think he's ever worked since they've gotten together.
Where'd she meet him?
I don't know. And she had all these ambitions and plans, and she meets him and she doesn't
There's
do
Christine.
it
She
either.
looks like she's lost. Look at how much weight she's lost.
Christine?
I mean, look at her there. It's not a good look, I don't think. It looks like, it doesn't look like weight loss from, like, you know what I'm saying? It looks like, look at
She's
her.
looked really good every picture I've seen her.
She's 50 years old. Look at this. It looks like
Oh, wow.
it's stress.
Wow.
That doesn't, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see that now. Yes.
She doesn't look like she's, I don't know. She looks like she's probably going through hell.
Looks like she's lost a bunch more since
She
I
has
saw her.
lost a lot of weight, but it looks to me that she's probably going through hell and losing it.
Wow, because she looked great. One of the last pictures I saw.
I don't know. I don't think she's having an easy time.
Yeah, she looks scary, kind of.
I don't think she's having a good time. It doesn't look like she wants to be like that. I don't know. That's just my opinion. Looks like she's having a hard
It's
time.
like she's getting very thin.
Looks like she's like, but see here she looks all right here. But there, it looks like all the stress is getting to her. So what does she do? What do they do for a living? They have a food truck?
Do they? Because I know
You
they
said
were
they had to
one-
have tacos at their food truck.
No, that was what they had him buy for their wedding.
Oh, so what does
For
he
their
do?
reception. wanted 4,000 street tacos. And
Oh,
they got it.
well,
They
that's
got
them at the
anything
wedding.
that they wanted. She was acting like a spoiled brat, and so was he.
That's what he wore to his wedding?
That's when I used to watch them.
I never saw any of this. I'm so far behind.
Yeah, it's been a long time. I didn't know they had 3 kids.
Are the kids, like, do they feature the show on them?
Yeah, well, quite a bit.
They're still in LuLaRoe? I thought that was not even in business anymore, really?
I don't know.
Okay, so she must have just had the twins. Twin boys.
It's 2 boys or 2
Twin
girls? Or
boys.
one?
She has a girl and now twin boys.
Twin boys, okay.
4 weeks ago. Yeah, she just had them because 4 weeks ago she's like this. Was she trying to look like a gnome?
Wow. Oh,
Well, that doesn't look like a home birth. She's in a hospital. Did you have to have a cesarean since you were having twins? Oh, she had a cesarean, I guess. Okay. Well,
Kevin. Oh my God. Whoa.
what do you say?
He said, OMG, gnome.
Oh, I thought she was a gnome, Kevin, because she had a beard on. That's a normal thing to think if you have a big stomach like a gnome and then a beard. I thought it was a gnome. What was she? That wasn't a gnome?
I have no idea. No clue.
Oh, she was Fat Thor. And don't say that I called her fat because it says here, Fat Thor. She said it.
I'm not trying to be mean or anything, but so many of Christine's kids that they had together,
Yeah.
I didn't think were cute. They were all, I don't know. I shouldn't even say that.
Miss Avalon, is that her daughter has her own page? Oh.
Adeline?
Yeah, she has her own page, I guess. I don't know.
I think that's one of the names. I don't know. I don't know. Aw, that baby was cute.
Is that Truly? It's gotta be Truly, right?
Truly's getting up there. The picture I saw.
Yeah, she's like a few, I think she's close to Luke, maybe a year apart. Remember that? No, I don't think it's gonna be that, Kevin. If it's anything, it's the cherries. The boys are healthy and doing well.
Does it say if they're identical?
I don't know. That's weird. I wonder how. Did she have any fertility treatments, or what was she?
Probably not.
Because they don't have many twins in their sister wives, do they? Do they have any twins?
Not that I know of.
I wonder when she found out she was
He's
having.
not the one who determines twins. It's always the woman. Either one egg splits in two, which is monozygotic, and if there's two, the egg splits in two, makes two embryos that's dizygotic. Man has nothing to do with it.
No, I mean, no, I'm not. I'm saying, but like all of them, all of their sister wives, married, all 4 wives. I don't think any had twins.
No, because they probably don't have the twinning gene, or an egg didn't split in two or whatever.
I'm
That's
trying
why.
to see when she announced the twins. This is her wedding. I guess she doesn't have any pictures between the wedding and 3 kids.
Right, because they've not been doing anything.
I know, but still, wouldn't she have pictures of her daughter?
You would think.
Where's the announcement of the pregnancy?
She and Tony had no ambition at all,
Really?
except to get married. Yeah,
And so what does she do? She just makes money on TLC like this?
I'm assuming, I don't know, I haven't followed them in so long. I know I despised both of them when they met each other and the attitudes together. I don't know if they've changed at all or not.
Oh, she's changed so dramatically.
Bless you.
Thank you. She's changed so dramatically. That doesn't even look like her here. Like she's gone up and down in weight like crazy, hasn't she?
After Christine, where she's thin.
It literally looks like, I'm not even talking about Christine, I'm talking about, this is her daughter. It looks like
Oh, the
she
daughter, yeah.
loses like 50 pounds from one picture to the next.
She was big every time I saw her, pretty much.
Looks like she lost a bunch of weight and then, look, and then would she get pregnant with the twins?
Yeah,
Look.
yeah. Yeah, I'm looking. Yeah.
Something's whacked. And then, okay, what is that? What is that about?
Wow, yeah, she looks thin there.
That's the first baby. That's the first baby. Look at that. So March of 2021
Wow.
is the first baby. Tony and I are pregnant. We've been planning this since we were married almost 4 years ago. So maybe she did have fertility treatment, Scooter. They tried for 4 years to get pregnant.
Yeah, maybe they did then.
We're expecting the
don't know,
baby
I
in
don't
March of
know.
2021. Happy beyond belief, and I can't wait to share another amazing experience with my Tony Chestnut husband.
Ugh.
So excited, baby on board. Okay, and then
Yeah, Rosalita said she felt the same way
and look
about
at that. Doesn't that look like a huge pair of shoes to announce an announcement with? Look at that. It looks
Yeah.
like shoes for a 3-year-old.
Yeah.
And then it said it's a girl. We're having a baby girl. She's due at the end of March. You can check this article in People. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. All right. And then what happened? Then she had the baby.
He looks like a girl with her too.
And
Wait,
then,
I don't know. Ugh.
when did she announce the second one? Oh, it looks like she has a pregnancy test there. Looks like something says slim there, doesn't it? So she's selling something. Team Janelle. Happy Monday. If you're already exhausted, it's time a balanced body. What is she selling? Is that body stuff or look? She's selling something. Okay, she's got to be pregnant here. She's looking like we're having twins. Miss Avalon will be a big sister in December. Twins come early, so probably before then. Tony and I definitely weren't expecting this, planning this, or expecting this, but we're both excited. Expecting twins. And does she say if they're identical?
They must not be, because they usually will say that, identical twins.
Expecting twins.
Sometimes it's hard to tell until they're born.
Yeah,
How they're positioned towards and all that.
right, yeah.
How come? Avalon looks so much like your sister Aspen. I wonder if she's going to keep having them.
I wouldn't doubt
Are they
it.
all like that? They're not into the sister wives, but are they all into like having kid after kid after kid after kid?
I have no idea. Not that I know of. Not that I know of.
Like that other ridiculous show.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't know.
The mother and the father, they were both so sanctimonious. Look at them.
I can't believe Cody allowed, isn't he? Isn't that such a thing about modesty with them, isn't it? I wonder what he thinks of this.
Yeah.
Oh, here's Janelle. She's commenting. Let's see what she looks like. Just me. And that's one of her kids. So her and Christine are staying in touch. They're all taking this stuff. What are they selling? Who knows what
I
they're
don't know.
selling? They're selling some kind of weight loss stuff. It's
I
not
guess so.
normal to feel bloated, nauseous, and gassy all the time. It's not normal to toss and turn most nights. It's not normal to have bowel movements a few times a week. Oh, ugh. What is she selling? Message me or follow my page. Roll into something. What is this? What is it that they're taking here? Why do they keep it such a secret?
I don't know.
Oh, it's plexus. Why are they always into those MLM? Yeah, notice that? Like even on that show, the one with Bill Paxton.
Mm-hmm.
Easy to get a job doing it.
Yeah, and they have the following, too. To get
You know
that.
what? Yeah, and you know what it is? People just want to join them just to say, "Oh, I'm on Janelle's team," right?
Yeah.
Like if you're a real fan of the show, right?
Yep.
Wouldn't you be like,
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna do everything to get on Janelle's team?
Mm-hmm.
And Christine. Don't they make 20 to 40K each episode? Are you serious? I don't think they make that much. You think they make 20 to 40K each episode, each of them? I don't think so. I don't think
Yeah.
TLC has that. I don't think TLC has that budget. Do you think so?
I
I
wouldn't
don't
be
think so.
surprised.
Let me see.
I wouldn't.
How much do...
I bet they make pretty good. Look at those houses they had. My gosh. They all had all those humongous homes.
Is that when they lived in Vegas?
Okay, let's see.
Yeah, in Vegas, Sharon, yeah.
TLC reportedly spends $250,000 to $450,000 per episode.
What?
Hold on a minute. So let me see what the family earns. The family earns about 10% of the show's per episode budget. So they normally spend $250,000 to $400,000 on every episode. So that means they
That's a
receive
lot of money.
25. I know. I told you it's not. 25 to 40,000 per episode for them to split among themselves.
Oh, to split. Okay.
Not each one. It's estimated that the family has made somewhere around $3 million in total from filming alone since their series began in 2010, which equates to about $375,000 annually. While that
Oh,
seems
that
like a
would've
lot of
been
money, the
even
Brown
more.
clan has over 20 members, and most of Cody's wives have their own jobs on the side. That being said, it's been reported by multiple outlets that the Brown family actually took a pay cut years ago in order to keep their show on the air. After reportedly
Oh.
receiving low ratings for season 11, TLC allegedly canceled the reality show about the polygamous family. However, Cody haggled, and the My Four Wives alumni reportedly offered to do the show for the price of just one salary. It's unclear what the deal ended up being, but Sisters Wives is still cranking out seasons.
You know it's Cody who gets all the money.
And it says, meanwhile,
Oh,
Janelle and
the
Christine
wives all
both
have
work
to
with the
do.
brand Plexus. In September 2021, the women explained they partnered with the company that supports weight management and nutrition by using personal care products and dietary supplements. Both Janelle and Christine regularly promote the brand via their social media posts and often pose for photos with their products together.
Does Cody actually work?
No.
No.
I didn't think so. It's pretty good though that he keeps choosing women who have careers.
Mm-hmm.
So he gets supported by all these women.
So he can drive around in his little sports car.
They got him a sports car.
He had one. I don't know if he still does. He probably does.
Colin Goslin. Oh my gosh, he's leaving for the military. Where is she now? Where is Kate Goslin now? Does she still live in that house?
Well, who knows?
Yeah, I don't think
I
so.
didn't like her.
No.
Oh, no. I don't think too many people did.
She was very unlikable.
Oh, Kevin said he thinks Cody has a business, a sign company.
Oh, a sign company? Kate Gosland. Looks like she's still living in that house.
Where's all the
I'm
kids?
surprised she would want to. It's kind of in the middle of nowhere, and isn't she one an active single? Aren't all of her kids away at school now? They're all 18 and above.
He's still living there in that
I
house?
don't know. I'm trying to see. Because her kids were turning 5 years old before Luke was even born. So her kids are all over 18. I remember that's when they had the split.
How old are they?
Oh, she still has those dogs? Guys, okay, let me see. I'm trying to find them out. Trying to find out. I think they turned 18 in May, the youngest ones. And they said that Colin opens up about his estrangement from his mom.
Yeah, I didn't watch it, but I did see that.
He's 18.
And the other daughter lives with the dad too. Hannah, maybe, or whatever. I'm not sure which one.
Yeah, this is him.
How old are they?
18. The youngest ones are 18. Kay revealed several years ago that Colin had been put in an institution to help him deal with his alleged behavioral issues. Upon leaving the institution, he went to live with his father. He said any real connection to his mom has been severed after the experience. Good job, Kate.
He looks so old, doesn't he?
After being there, I didn't have a relationship with her. Even before, I don't think we had much of a relationship. I think that just kept tearing it down even more. Looking back at the drama and eventual estrangement with his mother, Colin said he feels it stems from the pressures of having your family star in a reality TV show.
Probably.
No, no doubt. I feel like those shows are so invasive. Oh,
What, Sharon?
I think those shows are really invasive.
Oh, they are.
God
Yeah.
knows what they haven't shown.
Oh, and then Hannah decided to live with the father too.
I just said that.
But where does she, I'm going to look up where does Kate live now?
Wasn't it Pennsylvania or something?
Yeah, she
like
lived in a really big house there, but oh no, she moved to North Carolina.
that? Okay, Rosalita said she thinks Charlotte.
She moved to a lakefront house. She's 46. She moved to North Carolina with the children in her custody, who's Leah, Alexis, Joel, and Aiden. And twins Maddie and Carrie reside with their mother, went home from their respective colleges, but this is before the other ones went to college. Oh, so this is her home. Let's look at this. It looks quite different than her other home. I wonder how much she sold the other home for.
A lot.
I'm surprised. She's probably going to redo the whole thing because that kitchen is not up to her standards. She redid the kitchen at the other house twice.
Is she paying for the other
I'm
house?
surprised that this, I wouldn't picture her.
It's probably a lot bigger than it looks right there.
She's probably going to redo the whole thing, I guarantee you. She probably
Oh,
already
yeah.
has. So let's see.
That show's not still on, is it?
I'm going to see what she sold that other house for. She sold it for nearly 1.1 million, which that I would seem she took a loss on that because it had 6 bedrooms in the main house, separate living quarters with private entrance over the 3-car detached garage. It had an expansive gourmet chef's kitchen with a large kitchen island and stainless steel appliances, including 3 ovens, 6-burner gas stovetop, and 2 dishwashers. Yeah, she redid that whole kitchen. It was a nice kitchen, and she did the whole thing over. I can't imagine her. No, she's a large formal dining room with gas fireplace, super-sized first floor master bedroom with a huge tiled bath, and 4 recently remodeled junior suites. Family room. Yeah, let's see. Don't they have a Zillow? Where's the Zillow listing? Where is it? Oh, here's the listing. Yeah, here's the listing. So she sold it January of 21. So almost 2 years ago. Yeah, I can't imagine her.
Two years ago, the housing market was still within reason, if you want to call it that.
Yeah, but she did that whole kitchen over like twice when she lived there.
Yeah, I know, I heard you, but I think that
Look at that schedule. Look at that. You
the
see her schedule over there?
inflation
Ugh.
Should drive
I bet
anybody
she
insane.
put all of it into that house on the water. I don't know what water. Where do they live?
But
What
no, it
state?
doesn't look like that. I wonder what that house sold for. That doesn't look like.
What state?
I'd rather be homeless than live with her.
Did you say schedule? Did you say
Oh no, I said schedule, not schedule.
I thought you did though.
No, I didn't. I can't. I really can't stand that schedule.
I can't either.
No, I can't.
Gonna get in trouble with all the people who say casual.
Casual.
I'm surprised she didn't do her bathrooms over. She did everything over. Those are like dated.
I would, Deb.
So funny. It was right when they moved into that house. They had all those little tiny cottages, those crooked houses bought for the kids. Where are they? She got them all taken away. Troy sold them all individually.
Sure
But
she
that's
did.
that's when all their problems started. I don't think she made much money on that house because I think they took a loss on that house. Okay, built in 1997. It was built in only 1997. That can't be. Oh, they didn't build it in 97. I thought they built that house. Okay, so
Oh, what are you talking about when she first moved in there?
yeah, they didn't make any money. The couple bought the house, Scooter, in 2008 for 1.1 million,
Wow.
and they sold it for 1.1 million.
Oh, wow.
All those years later. Then they put a lot of. She changed that kitchen. They didn't, and all that other stuff. She didn't make any money on that house. Wonder why she took such a loss on that house.
I wonder, yeah.
Wow. Let's see what she bought the new place for.
I think she put it all in the. I
Her
don't know
new
if
house
it'll
is
wait.
750,000, but let's see. Kate Goslin is living in a 750,000 lakefront home in North Carolina, featuring a private pier pool and relaxing. Oh, she's okay, but it doesn't look. I don't know. I don't picture her the way she is. That's a very dated, like 90s kitchen. Picture
Oh, I'm sure she'll do something to it.
It's on Norman Lake.
She has to have her standards met.
She's probably already done something. Let's see. After John filed a petition, it was canceled. Does she have a show now? Any at all?
I have no
think
idea.
so.
That's
She was
all
doing
I asked.
Kate
No
and Date or
reason.
something.
I haven't followed her for a long time.
The father, John, has not spoken to his twin girls in 8 years.
Mm.
That's great.
Wow.
Really good job, guys.
Wow.
Really good
Wow.
job, guys.
Caring. Wow.
Really great, guys.
Well, at least we know they can be held up as a bad example. It's useful regardless. Don't be like the Goslings.
I wonder if they'd still be together if they had never had that show.
Yeah, there's no
Probably.
telling.
I don't know.
Probably. Yeah.
He claimed Kate has no contact with Colin. Okay, she sold her Pennsylvania home for not even 1.1 million, 1,085,000. She put it on the market for 1.3 million in October of 2020. So she went down considerably. She bought it for 1.12 million. Wow.
Huh.
Well, she did not do well on that. Let me see. Kate loses money. She was forced to sell her mansion, it says. Let's see. She reportedly forced to sell it amid financial trouble. Let's see. Set to lose, she lost $385,000 as she put the house up for sale.
Oh, well.
A source said the house was listed at $815,000, despite John and Kate having bought it for a little over $1 million over a decade. So yeah, Kate. Okay, well they had the price wrong, I guess, unless she put it up. Kate's been struggling with money. Okay. She's reportedly planning on leaving Pennsylvania. Okay.
Oh, she went back to nursing.
She did?
Yeah. That's what Rosalita said. That's surprising.
Yeah. Who would want her as their nurse? Once they realized who she was.
I thought she'd be too big of a celebrity.
Kate Gosselin claims she had to take $100K from her children's trust fund to survive.
Wow.
John Gosselin accused his estranged wife, Kate Gosselin, of stealing $100,000 from the children's trust fund. But according to new court documents, Kate claimed she had to borrow the money just to survive.
Liar.
John took his ex-wife to court after he noticed a significant amount of cash missing from the children's trust fund. Kate later admitted she withdrew 2 separate allotments of $50,000 from the trust fund, and she didn't plan to stop explaining, "I will have to keep borrowing it from it to survive." Kate continued to film the show, which was retitled Kate Plus 8 after their divorce. Despite claiming she desperately needed the money to meet her own and her children's day-to-day expenses, the mom of 8 purchased a $750,000 lake house that same year. "It's disgusting and it's morally wrong," John said. "Parents are not supposed to withdraw any money from these accounts without permission. You can't just live off your kids' money. It makes me feel disgusted. She has been on TV telling the world she has saved her children's money when she's actually been stealing from them. She's a hypocrite."
Yeah, she sure is. I always thought he was more normal than her, but what do I know?
He always seemed more normal.
Yeah. At least rational.
And how did she... After theft, she demands $132,000 in child support after theft. Her request comes after John said she stole $100,000. Kate Gosselin was recently accused of stealing 6 figures from her children's funds. But that's not stopping the former reality star from seeking $132,000 in back child support that she's owed. Kate has filed an adverse revival in hopes of making John start payments on an old judgment she won back in 2018. At the time, John was challenged the back child support, arguing that his wife was requesting an inappropriate amount of money. Kate's move seems in response to John's allegations. I don't know. Doesn't sound like she's in a good position if she's, I don't know. But that, to me, does not. She probably already remodeled her house. Much of it.
That's what she used the kids' money for. Come on. Stupid, 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 stupid.
Kate Goslin is very happy and at peace after settling into a new, modest house in North Carolina. Oh, here's her house. Has a private pier.
If she went back to nursing, she can't afford to be living in a $750,000 house.
Kate left reality TV stardom for a simpler life in North Carolina. She obtained a multi-state license from the North Carolina Board of Nursing. Let's see. She's going to go back to nursing. I can't imagine her.
Imagine.
I'd freak out if she was my nurse.
I would demand a different nurse. Demand. And I never demand. I would demand. Oh, it's crazy. Who wants a crazy person taking care of them? Not me.
Goslin's family is not on board with her North Carolina move, and she doesn't care what John thinks. She doesn't have a new man in her life? I can't imagine.
They probably have all seen her on TV.
You want to be with that rich? Oh my God. Maybe some old bugger. Who knows?
Somebody does. You know somebody does. They like men in prison.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Somebody
true.
wants her.
Yeah. You better have money.
It's just that she was so regimented. Remember all those notes she had on everything in her house, and just that like schedule is like she gives everybody
Yes.
anxiety.
Oh,
Everything was so freaking regimented. You remember when they
Horrible.
went in the car? Do you have the 19 snack bags? Like it ran like an institution.
yeah,
Do you remember when she took them to the Crayola factory and she would not let them color with the markers?
no, I don't remember.
Oh
that.
my gosh, that was insane.
I'm not surprised.
And he went along with it.
Well, he probably yeah, I'm sure he did.
She you know what she said, because they all had she said, you don't have to get the seat, they're gonna get the marker on. What the hell did she worry? They would have got them new outfits. She was worried about them getting their outfits dirty. So she would not let them color with the markers at the Crayola factory. Brought them to the Crayola factory, but would not let them color with the markers.
So dumb.
Sounds about right.
That was insane. Yeah, color me. She let them use the marker. They are freaking out and melting down because they're pissed. And she wouldn't let them use it. Children visited the Crayola factory. It's crazy. Why would you go there?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if they just made them do that because they knew she wouldn't and they just wanted to have like a really sensational episode.
Yeah, I wouldn't doubt it.
And then she took them. So what did it say? You remember that they used to have a blog about them? It was like No Excuse Gaza. I think it was written by her sister-in-law or something. In the Hit the Road episode, John drove the family 19 hours towing a U-Haul full of luggage to visit Disney World inside the Magic Kingdom. Ice cream melted on the kids' clothes and Kate melted down. She had something about clothes. I don't think she must have had things growing up. I think she's got some deep psychological issues.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because all of the, like, the way she was about everything. Did you watch the show, Sharon?
I watched Gary's.
I only watched some of it, but when they lived in that other house, they came in through the garage. Everybody had to take their shoes off. She had everything built into the garage, all these little cubbies. And then when she would decide that she wanted all this storage, it was a pretty small house for as many kids as they had. She wanted all this storage over the garage, and she had her brother come with John, and they put like a hole, almost like another floor, and then she had all these totes that went in there that she knew where everything was, and she was like, she had to know where every knife was. She had all these things. Do not put these knives in the dishwasher. Do not do this for this. Do not do for that. Don't put this here. Don't put that there. If she couldn't find a pair of socks, she went like every outfit she kept going through, and it had to come out, and everything had to match, and everything had to go back, and everything had to be non-stained. And if it was stained, it was the end of the world. It was crazy. It was absolutely crazy. And that's what I didn't know. I didn't know about the melted ice cream.
Yeah, I didn't know about all that. I'm not surprised though.
And then he said, Kate melted down. John, of course, dissented. You know what I would have done? Let him eat it. Let him bathe in it. Who cares? The children visited the Crayola factory in Color Me Goslin to see crayons get made. During a hands-on part of the tour, Kate tried to prevent stains. Kate, you're being neurotic. They can't have fun. And then she forbade them to play with markers. John sided with the children, saying, you shouldn't have dressed them in nice outfits. But Crayola has washable markers. What was she worried about?
You know they don't wash, right?
Then it said, the infamous chewing gum debacle. Maddie spending time with her parents in the Maddie's Day episode got her ears pierced while Aunt Jody babysat the other Goslins and allowed them gum after they told her it's not against the rules. Kate shouted, no way, when she spotted gum on Joel's sock later and vigorously scrubbed Colin's teddy bear while venting. I loved Jody, but what would possess her to give 6 3-year-olds gum? Easy. Yeah, she's just nuts. We went to the Crayola thing. What was it? We went to a Crayola event for bloggers in New York City, and oh my gosh, I let the kids play with everything. What the hell?
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying.
This is so crazy.
Crazy
And I can't even imagine doing it. Jimmy would have freaked out. Carolyn, we came to the whole thing here. Are you kidding me? What the hell would you come here for?
Well, you don't go to something like
Oh my
that.
gosh.
Do that.
That's nuts.
It is.
That makes no sense.
But then again, she was nuts. She still is. She'll never find anybody. Come on.
She's so regimented. I think she would drive anybody insane.
Yeah.
And he didn't seem like regimented. He seemed like a fly by the seat of your pants kind of guy.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like a nutcase.
What did he do for a living?
Did he
Wasn't
do?
it something with computers in
I
the
think so.
beginning? I'm not sure though.
I think so, but she had all the notes all over the house. Oh, and then remember when she made him take the dogs back, and then she ended up getting 2 different dogs? Right when they were getting the divorce, they got those big German Shepherds. And
Yes,
then
I
when they
forgot
got
about
divorced, she said,
that.
that's it, they're back. Then she got more dogs for the kids later on.
I do remember that now.
She won't let him play with crayon markers, but she'll get him a dog. That makes sense.
She didn't like anything that was like messy. And then every meal they had was so regimented. Every kid had like this compartmentalized plate, and everybody had it. Oh my gosh.
Oh my
And
gosh.
she made a big deal about one time they were having, I remember, ice cream for dinner. They were going out to like a self-serve place, and she drove everybody crazy. Because she micromanages everything.
Ice cream for dinner, though, that sounds like a good idea.
Yeah, well, she said something like in her family or something, something let them have ice cream for dinner like once a year. So they all going to this soft serve place, and she drove them nuts. Micromanaged what everybody was getting, and it wasn't that they didn't have money or anything. They were doing the series. They had money to do anything they wanted.
Yeah, true.
Okay, good night, Kevin. I have to lay down too.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, it's late. I can't believe it.
I'm falling asleep here. I hate to say it.
All right.
Nikki, are you still there?
All right. Well, thanks for
Great.
coming on and reading, Sharon and Scooter, and thanks for listening,
Welcome,
people.
my dear.
And we will see you tomorrow. And
Okay.
everybody have a good day. And Monday,
What's Monday? What's happening
I don't know.
Monday?
We'll see what this week brings. I don't know. You never know.
Good night,
Tomorrow's
everybody.
Monday, duh.
And Miss Sharon, I'm going to bed. I love you guys.
All right. Bye.
Don't go to
Bye,
bed.
guys.
Love ya.
See you. God bless.
Love you guys.
Well, we'll see you tomorrow.
One.
Hit the like, hit the like.
Hit the likes.